guys. I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, The Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal Dolphin Club.
And you're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
What is up? It's your boy, Stephen D. We are live on the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. Super excited to be hanging out with y'all on this beautiful Take Tuesday. That's right, Take Tuesday. This is normally my Miami Herald Tuesday. Daniel Oyefusi will be back next week. Not able to be here this week. He's chilling with the fam this week, and that's fine. That's good. Have fun. We'll see you next week. We'll talk about everything. But we're going to hang out today. We're going to have a good time. I got some special guests hopefully lined up for this morning, and then I'm going to bring you all the fans on this afternoon. But before we get started, I got to go through the rundown of everything, and I want to make sure y'all hear and know everything that is going on. So first things first, okay? First things first. Stop yelling, slacker. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm excited. I'm super excited, okay? Okay, first things first. Follow me on social media at Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Okay, make sure you guys go do that. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. Make sure you go follow me today. Also, follow Miami Sports Music today at Miami Sports Music on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, which I'll get to in a minute. And also follow us on Twitter at MIA Sports Music. Okay, so make sure you guys do that today. Also, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, let people know that we're here. We cannot grow without you. So in order for us to get to the next level, we got to grow, and I need your help to do it. So make sure you guys hit the like button, share, let everybody do that, okay? So make sure you guys do that, all right? Also, hey, join now, sign up to become a member today. There are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. I would love for you to sign up and become a member today. Here is the link for you to do that. The link that I have in the chat right now. You click on it, you sign up. Let's get 2 new members today. Let's get 2 new members today. Okay, that's the goal. Just two new members. Sign up today, become a member. Would love to see you become part of the family. All right. Also, want to remind you all too, hey, help the channel grow by donating. A lot of different ways we can do that. 3 different ways. First way you can do that is use the $ down at the bottom of the chat. Wasn't able to be here for the last couple of weeks. Definitely need to be able to keep the channel growing and going. So donations are big, especially the last 15 some odd days of this month. We need to have big days, all right? I want to remind you all, too, if you guys also donate through $MSM Podcast Network on Cash App, as well as PayPal, which is MSM Podcast Network. Those are the other 2 ways to help the channel grow. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor of the show, Tail Greeter. That's right, Tail Greeter, an amazing sponsor of the show. Make sure you download the app on your current Apple or Android device today. If you have a Crapple device, I'm so sorry about your life. But if you have Team Android all day. Look, I even got, this is a new phone. Look at that. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind. I'm all about kindness. Make sure you guys do that today. Download the app for Tail Greeter. You can go on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. They have everything Tail Greeter. Please go follow them at Tail Greeter, at TAILGREETER. Make sure you do that today. Also, I want to remind you all, too, every $10 donation that you make between now and the end of this month will get you a spot into this autographed Javon Holland jersey, courtesy of ZSM Sports. Okay, ZSM Sports. Zach, absolutely an amazing guy, Zachary Ever. Zach is the man. Make sure you follow him on Instagram at ZSM Sports, at ZSM Sports today. He's having a public signing later on this month. or in April, excuse me, for Javon Holland. But if you want a chance to win an autographed Javon Holland jersey, make sure you guys do that today. Got a lot of stuff going down. He's got Brandon Jones coming up. Or actually, that might have just passed, but that might have been delayed. But I know that if you want this Javon Holland jersey, it is definitely the way to go. Okay, so make sure you guys do that. Would love to see you all come out. Every $10 donation gets you an entry into that. If you donate on Instagram or if you donate through Cash App or PayPal, it doubles your chances. All right. Let's go. What is up? How y'all doing this morning? A lot went down in the world yesterday of Miami Dolphins football, and we're going to get into all that. But I want to remind you all, hey, interact with the show on Twitter today using the hashtag ClockBlockers, and you can also do that in the chat here as well. Let me say good morning to everybody that I have in the chat here this morning. I got Andres. What's up, Andres? 1, 2, 3, 4 Eps. EC Caden. What is going on? Rasta. Ready for Teddy. Color commentary. What's going on, Color? Martina, how are you? Super excited. Shake Money. Suedo Spike. Hello. Word of mouth is in the building. Who else I got? Samaj, what is going on? Samson, super excited that you're here. Darren, what is going on, Darren? Morning, Steven, glad you're back. Missed this show. Super excited I am back too, and I'm glad that you missed the show and that you're here. Frank Mendez is in the building this morning. Shake Money, I already said Shake Money. See, you guys twice. Congratulations to Shake Money winning the giveaway yesterday. Jamal Orange and Chef Zhu is in the building. Subscribe, like, donate, share, become a member today. Your seat is waiting for you. Join the family. Okay? Make sure you guys do that. All right? Awesome. All right. Steven, next time disappear, please let me know. I panicked. Corey says, glad to see you back. Super excited. No conspiracies Tuesdays, please. All right, no conspiracies. No conspiracies today. Although Dolphins Twitter's in a frenzy. But that's okay. That is all right that they're in a frenzy. Super excited. All right. I got my tea. I'm ready to go. Let's get started. All right. So yesterday, 4 or 5 big signings for the Miami Dolphins, and we'll get right into them. The first one that I want to talk about personally, and there's a lot of things to talk about, but the first thing that I want to talk about is what the cap space kind of looks like for us. So let me actually share this screen. Getting in from yesterday. This is from Barry Jackson. Dolphins, after agreeing to terms with 6 players in the last 21 hours, still with about $21 million in cap space and need to save half of that more for the draft, but can easily clear out another 21. So they can add frontline offensive line help. So the two things that I thought was very interesting from yesterday is here's the first thing that I thought was great yesterday. Shout out to Anthony for the $2 donation. Number one, we got a chance to sign yesterday my boy Emmanuel Ogbah. Shout out to Emmanuel Ogbah returning. Super excited for him here. What came out later in the day is that first year number is going to cost us about $7 million against the cap, if I'm correct. We also had Mike Gesicki sign his franchise tag tender. Two things that came out of that for me yesterday. Number one, he didn't fight it. And I thought at minimum, he was at least going to fight it as a wide receiver. And supposedly that cap number is about 11 mil, 10.6, 11 mil, something like that, 11.6, somewhere in that range. So we have a chance in 2022 to 2023 that the cap number for Emmanuel Ogbah and Mike Gesicki together is going to be the price we thought one of them was going to cost us. Now, I don't know if we thought Gesicki was going to cost us 18 mil, but we thought he was going to be in the range of 15 to 16. And we thought definitely Agba was going to do that. So add a couple more dollars onto here. We got 2 players for the price of 1 next year. And I have to say that I got to give kudos to Greer for that. I'm going to give kudos where kudos are due. And Greer, the genius that he is as the look, when it comes down to trades, and I have to say, I'll even go as far out to say even cap space to a certain extent, Greer seems to be the guy who's made the most sense of all the GMs that we've had recently. So that excites me. That excites me to no end. So I want to be able to give credit where credit is due. Matter of fact, why I'm talking about this, let me bring in my boy, my brother from another mother. Y'all know him. Some of y'all love him. Some of y'all don't. But I love the man. He is my brother. TD Fins Talk. What's up, TD? TD, you there? Hello? TD, are you driving? TD, I can't hear you. All right, TD, try to come back on. Go out and come back in because I want to have you on. I want to talk about this. But yeah, I thought it was very interesting from that standpoint to be able to do this, right? So when you're talking about Greer, well, slow down. Greer is no genius, Josie says. Look, he got to have Gesicki and Agba at 17 to 18 million for next year together. We thought clearly Agba was going to cost us 15 to 16 per year, and we thought the same thing about Gesicki. And we said there's no way we can keep both. He found a way to keep both for next year. There's something to be said of that. Then you go out and you get Chase Edmonds. Now, I know Chase Edmonds is not the biggest name when it comes to running backs. But let me tell y'all, Chase Edmonds is going to be able to make this running back core better than what it was last year. Now, we need to finish the running backs and figure out maybe another player or two, whether that's signing or draft or whatever. But I like the Chase Edmonds signing. The man averaged 5.1 yards per carry last year. The Miami Dolphins averaged 3.5 yards per carry last year. That's big. That's big. Now, people want to say on Twitter this past 24 hours or this past 12 hours, 15 hours, well, wait, Arizona has a better offensive line than the Miami Dolphins. We're going to get to the O-line. Calm down. Take a chill pill. We'll get there. And I'll talk about that here in a minute. All right, let me see if I can bring TD back in. What's up, TD?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my friend. What is that? Well, I guess he couldn't hear me. We're going to get TD on. That's going to happen. But yeah, I think that that's very interesting from the Chase Edmonds standpoint to realize that we were able to do that. That we were able to.
All right, can you hear me this time, bro?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, my bad. Let me put these AirPods up. They're acting up.
See, that's what happens when you have Crapple products, TD.
Crapple, wow. I've never heard of that one.
Yep. I'm Team Android all day. Samsung, baby.
I used to be. I still actually like Android when I compare the two. It's just that everything that I purchase is compatible with Apple, so they all go hand in hand.
So in my house, my wife is a huge Apple fan, and my mother and my brother are all big Apple fans, and I clearly I cannot stand Apple products. I love Android. So in my house, we have Team Apple and Team Android shirts. It's a real thing. It's a real debate in our house.
Oh Lord,
it's a real debate. So what's up, man? First of all, I've missed you the last couple of weeks. I've been away, but I've missed you. How have things been with you?
It's been great, man. I was worried about you. One day, I was like, man, I ain't seen Steven live in the morning in a while because I didn't know you were going on like a vacation or something, as people said. And somebody actually, I mean, they had me nervous. I was like, what? Because they put in the comment section, Steve in Ukraine. I'm like, what? But I realized they were trolling real quick.
They were trolling. They were definitely trolling.
But no, man, everything's been good. Just trying to deliver this content. People been missing you, man. Because I went live twice in like the morning since you were gone, and they kept asking on the stream, man, has anybody seen Steven? So I'm good though. Everything is all good. Dolphins are the Dolphins.
They are. Let's talk a little bit yesterday and today. Two things have happened. Real quick, two things have happened in the last 30 minutes. Linebacker Duke Riley is signing back with the Miami Dolphins on a one-year deal, $3 million contract for his agents, Drew Rosenhaus. And also not Dolphins related, but again, I think it's really big. Aaron Rodgers' new deal.
Yeah, I saw that.
3 years, $150 million.
Is it not like 151 or something like that?
This is from Adam Schefter in the last minute, but that's including this year that he already had. So in actuality, it's actually a 2-year, $124 million contract extension. So with that being said, Aaron Rodgers over the course of the next 2 years is going to make $74 million a year.
But he's not going to count against the cap for that much.
I don't know the exact details of that. All I know is that
he's going to be $44 million versus the cap this year, and he's going to be $59 million versus the cap next year.
Those numbers are insane.
Yeah,
those numbers are just outright crazy.
It is, but they're going for a window of let's try to just get one more while this man is still here, because again, we never know when we're going to go into quarterback purgatory again where we just can't find anybody. So let's just try our best to, and they're pushing money down the road with their current contracts and players. They're basically making voidable years. It's all possible. It's just not long-term sustainable. At some point, a team has to crash and basically accept the fact that they're going to be trash for 2 or 3 years. But they know post Aaron Rodgers, they're going to be rebuilding anyway, so they don't mind kicking the can down the road.
How do you bring on other people onto the team to help? Aaron Rodgers is great, but he can't do it by himself. And Devontae Adams also has publicly stated he's not playing on the franchise tag. So what do they do in that situation?
They'll figure that out, and they'll give him a big deal eventually. Here's what happens, bro. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So they don't have the money to pay Devontae Adams. So what they're going to do is you're going to see something like a 5-year deal. Like, let me get hypothetical. Say they give him a 5-year, $100 million deal, $20 million a year. Just hypothetical. It could be more or less, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. When they give him that $100 million contract, they're going to guarantee 60. Okay. So what they do on that 60 guarantee, they're going to give him probably a huge signing bonus out of that amount. So he's going to get paid day one. But the way that the cap is going to work, he might be a $10 million cap hit in the first year. He might be a $15 million cap hit in the second year. And then the third year, he's going to be like a $40 million cap hit, but Aaron Rodgers no longer has guaranteed money in that third year, does he?
Nope.
So it's ways to do it, but again, down the road, 4 years from now, they're going to basically have no money to do nothing, so they're going to go do what Houston did last year, get a whole bunch of players $5 million and lower, and get their salary cap in order. Saints are doing it too. They're sitting there and pushing money down the road, but this is also what the Saints are trying to do. They're trying to trade for Watson for this reason. If they trade for Watson, they'll be able to take 3 of their highest paid players probably in the deal and get rid of those contracts. So it's a win-win. they at least get their quarterback for the future. They're not worried about now. They're trying to bring a guy in to be the next Breeze for the future.
Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because I really think that it hurts the future. Maybe not necessarily for the Dolphins right away, depending on Tua, but I think it hurts the future of the NFL and quarterbacks because now quarterbacks that are in the top tier, Patrick Mahomes, Matt Stafford, Kyler Murray, maybe all these guys are going to be. Well, if Aaron Rodgers is making this now, I can ask for this down the road. And so all he's doing is ballooning that quarterback number for teams down the road.
Well, he is impacting the market and raising it, but not to the degree that you may be thinking. Because remember, we're talking about a MVP.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 seasons in a row at the highest level. So all these people, Kyler Murray can say, "Ooh, if Aaron got that money," but hold on, you ain't MVPing out here. You barely even playoff. You know what I mean? So it is going to dry the market up, but not the way people think. And on top of it, it's the circumstance of that team wanting to go for broke right now just to get a Super Bowl. I get it now. I think some teams are just in different places. They want to go for broke to win a Super Bowl because they got a window to do it. A team like the Dolphins, we're not in that position because we're thinking long term. But the problem that I'm starting to see in the NFL in my adjusted analysis of things, bro, it'll be hard to win a Super Bowl doing it the regular way because every year now going forward, you're going to have 4 to 5 teams that go for broke, and they have a huge advantage because they have way better players because they push money down the road. It's almost like this. Some of these teams really have a team that has a $300 million cap.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the way they structured it, they're kicking money down the road to where they'll burn later. But it doesn't matter. My $300 million cap, basically what I really got is going to win this Super Bowl.
And that's what it's all about. It's winning the ring.
When you look at some of these teams, and if you added their contracts just on what the annual is supposed to be, some of these teams are touching $300 million. But they structure them that way, but they know it's going to come back to haunt them later, but they don't care about later. Which do you care about? A Super Bowl now or being
I told you I'm all about Super Bowl now.
Yeah, Super Bowl now or cap hell later, or competitive now and competitive later. You see what I mean? That's where teams are. The rubber's meeting the road. They're making a decision. You only got 2 options: Super Bowl now and trash later, or competitive now and competitive later. But the competitives ain't winning nothing.
No, you are correct. They're not winning that ring. I 100% think like that. All right, let's get into another thing. So Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers, myself, Stephen D, hanging out with TD Fence Talk. We're talking about legal tampering period. We're talking about cap, the cap, the NFL cap, and we're also talking about NFL quarterbacks and how they kind of are going to change the outlook in the landscape of the NFL. One of those players we thought was retired 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks later, he decides, I'm coming back. Tom Brady. Tom Brady decides he wants to come back. My first question to you, TD, is what did you think of this?
I think that, on Sunday, his wife said, let's go to Target. He went and said, oh, no, this ain't for me. It's time for me to get back on the field. But it is what it is, man. It's Tom Brady. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't like that he retired in the first place.
Really?
Show some, bro. He had an MVP season, even though Aaron Rodgers won it. Why are you gonna go out playing prime football? Like, you could still go out when you decline, and still look favorable as long as you don't keep trying after you decline. The man's still playing top 5 quarterback level in the NFL. Not until you probably break that 10 mark do you need to retire. When you feel like you're going to come into the season as the 11th best quarterback, that's when you retire as Tom Brady. I didn't agree with his retirement in the first place. Now I don't like him because he wins so much and he killed us for so many years. So that was the happy part about it, even though he's not our concern anymore. So it wasn't as big of a deal for me. But yeah, that's wasted talent, bro. That talent should play. Matter of fact, he should be focused on setting every record that a new generation needs to set. Don't just be the GOAT. Chase immortality, and then that way these young kids can strive to be that. And if we get another one like that, that means we're all witnessing another just amazing great.
Yep, greatness. I totally agree. Now, I always say just one last thing to stay on the Tom Brady aspect for a couple more minutes. That Tom Brady's not going to do anything without thinking it through. And so I don't want to have a conspiracy theory, but I also have to think in the back of my mind, Brady is not somebody who just I don't know if he truly wanted to retire 3 weeks ago. There is something to this. Whether it was, I want to go out and speak to other teams and see what's out there legally.
You're close, yeah.
And I think that's part of it. I also think that, deep down inside, and somebody just said it in the chat, Miss Finns just said it, I think Brady wants to play till he's 50. He wants to be the oldest quarterback maybe ever to play.
And he can, Steven, and at a high level. This is a new NFL. And the quarterback...
TD left us. TD, see, that's why you have Crapple. Your phone service is dropping. TD's got that Boost Mobile connection. See? I had to do it, TD. I had to do it. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clap Blockers. I'm your host, Stephen D. We're going to get into the Dolphins stuff. I just want to talk about some of the other things, and I would wait till TD comes back, because I think the market is going to play a very big part on how the Dolphins move forward in their free agent signings and what they're going to do next up. So let me bring on TD back. TD, you there, bud?
Yeah, my bad. I hit the wrong button.
TD, you're on that Cricket Wireless. Don't lie.
Nah.
Don't lie.
Man, right. If I was, I wouldn't be ashamed of it. It is what it is.
All right, let me so you agree he probably wants to play till he's 50.
I mean, I don't know about 50, but still, I mean, as long as you're playing at a high level, let it ride.
Yeah, I agree. All right, now let's talk about the offensive line. Actually, wait, before we do that, there's one other thing I want to talk to you about. Christian Kirk. Kirk, a wide receiver for Arizona, gets an unbelievable deal from the Jacksonville Jaguars. He gets $18 million, makes him the 5th or 6th highest wide receiver paid in the NFL. Hello. I didn't know Christian Kirk was that good. How did he get $18 million?
Christian Kirk is very talented. Now, is he that good? I don't think he's worth that, but that's when you have to ask yourself the question, what other options out there that is as good as him that you could have got for less?
Christian Kirk?
Yeah. Who's better or on his level out there?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know if he's on his level, but I love the Cedric Wilson signing that we did yesterday.
Not on his level, though.
I think he's on the up and up. Cedric Wilson's
on the up and up, but that ain't proven. We don't know what we're going to get from him this year. And when you're ready to talk about him, I'll give you my true take on that, too.
Okay. We'll get to him. But, again, I go back to the Aaron Rodgers thing, right? Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers ballooned the market for quarterbacks now and 10 years from now, in 5 years from now. I think Christian Kirk is ballooning the wide receiver market. Now, this is going to hurt teams in the long run. We can increase salary caps all day, but if these players' salaries keep ballooning the way that they are, it ain't going to matter.
Well, the NFL shifts all the time, though, Steven. So the wide receiver may be getting the lift now, but 5 years from now, it'll be back to the running backs and the receivers will be down. You got to look at the paradigm shifts that happen in the NFL. Christian Kirk is overpaid right now, but
100%.
Jacksonville had a goal and they're trying to accomplish that. They're making sure that they know that they have their franchise quarterback by providing him everything he needs without excuse and seeing where it goes. And if it proves to be a success, then they know they have their guy. And I don't have a problem with that, even if you're just doing it to make sure you have the guy. So everybody knows they overpaid, but Jacksonville was prepared to overpay for everything to make sure they took care of their quarterback. And that's how you're supposed to do your young quarterbacks.
100%. Okay, and just so you know, I'm sitting here on Twitter and I'm hitting the refresh button and I'm seeing what's going on here. But let's talk about O-line, because I think that's where everybody kind of wants to get into. And I'm not talking about us yet, but there was a lot of O-lines taken yesterday, and a lot of their contracts looked to me to be between 17 million and up yesterday. A lot of the offensive line contracts, not all of them, but a lot of people that, in my opinion, are not as good as some of the bigger names out there. The top tier O-lines didn't come out yesterday, and people were still getting big contracts yesterday. Alex Kappa going to Cincinnati. What's his face also went to Cincinnati yesterday.
But these were guards. The guards went off the board yesterday in
Correct.
The centers.
Correct. And by the way, I was hoping Miami would look at a center, but maybe that's something we look at the draft now. Because I don't
did
know
look at a center. We just failed.
Okay, go elaborate.
We were targeting centers. We failed. We couldn't secure one. Other teams had better offers, and some of them end up re-inking with their current team.
A lot of them re-inked with their current teams, which I thought was very interesting. A lot of people did not move. Ted Karras went to Cincy. That's who went to Cincy, Karras.
And you know what? We've been dogging Ted Karras for the longest, but for the first time, with shame on me, I felt really embarrassed. I actually looked up his year-by-year performance. Mm-hmm. He only sucked in Miami. He's always been actually a top lineman in the NFL. And last year, he was 15th out of 82 in the NFL.
Do you think that has something to do with the Miami Dolphins, maybe?
It has something to do with our coaching staff and potentially our QBs. Our QBs. Let me make sure people ain't thinking I'm hating. Our QBs.
All right. So with that being said, La'el Collins, who is still technically a Dallas Cowboy, who knows if he's going to be released? Who knows if the Dolphins are going to have to go out on the trade market for him? As well as a couple of other free agents. Who are some of the names you want to see the Dolphins go after that's still available? And who are some of the people you probably think the Dolphins are going to end up getting?
Just that O-line or just in general?
Talking about O-line at the moment.
We're trying to get a big name guy. I just don't know how successful we'll be. Teron Armstead is what we're trying to move heaven and earth to get.
Do you like him?
I love Teron Armstead. I don't like us signing him.
Well, so a lot of what I got yesterday from fans as well as Dolphins Twitter is they like Armstead, but they don't like his injuries. And they don't like his injuries. And that's something that the fan base was bringing up yesterday.
It's massive. It's massive, Steven.
Okay.
The man has been on the field 10% less than Devontae Parker.
When you put it in terms like that, that says a lot.
To be wanting to make that kind of money in your career, you've only played 75%. And Devontae Parker has at least played like 85%, and they knock him.
Oh, they do. 100%. And the other thing that I find very interesting is that the Dolphin fan base seems to want to get rid of him at every turn, DVP. And I just know that the Dolphins have to upgrade the O-line. Like that is a must.
Yeah, they will. They will. I think that they will secure Teron Armstead. But the moment we secure Teron Armstead, ladies and gentlemen, we have completely finished free agency.
You don't think the Dolphins try to go after a second guy?
So let's break this down. As it stands right now, the Miami Dolphins have $21 million, Steven. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that 21, what people are ignoring is they can't spend all of it. Every team tries to hold on to about 10 million going into the season. Some get risky and hold on to 5 because sometimes you got to make middle of season signings, emergency this and that. You know, a guy gets hurt, his contract guaranteed, but you bring in a $1 million guy to replace him. All that stuff matters. Okay. Now there are some injury exemptions and things like that, but I'm just saying most teams go into the season with between $5 to $10 million just sitting there. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so if let's just say it's $8 million for Miami.
Okay.
So you take that away from the 21, that leaves you with 13 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to set aside about 8 million for draft picks. It usually is about 10, but we don't have a high pick in the first round, so I'm saying you're probably going to sit around $8 million, $9 million for your draft picks. Okay.
I'll do you one better, and I'll say that the Dolphins probably won't even have a first round draft pick. They'll probably trade out of the first round. That's just my gut feeling. But
and if they do, that's a possibility. So you could always look at that option, but they still got to set that money aside, right, until it happens. So basically, let's just say that you have $5 million left over, Steven, $6 million. Now we can clear up about 20 million, right?
21 million.
Okay, so that puts us at what, $27 million to spend?
And by the way, Matt Collins isn't back. Some of the guys.
I know. Nick Needham's tender. We don't know what that is. You see what I mean?
Yep.
All of these things. Well, Nick Needham's tender is actually going to be 3.9 million, but it's not accounted for yet because somebody can tender him, right?
Correct.
I mean, all these things, but you got 27 million. How much is Teron Armstead going to cost?
You know, it's funny that we're having this conversation because I remember having the conversation with you about Gesicki and Agba, and we were saying, and I'm kind of glad we are. We were saying that those two guys alone are going to cost us between $25 and $30 million probably. And now we're sitting here next year. Those two guys alone are only going to cost us 17 to 18 million because of the way that Greer made the cap.
But
which is great,
guys,
by the way. I got to give him his props to that.
Wait, hold on. He backloaded their deals, and we still strapped this year. He worked wonders to still, like, if we gave everybody their money on a regular annual, we'd be broke now. But he structured it to where we still have money, right?
100%. He was able to look. You got to give him his props on that.
It's a catch-22
because of the back end. I'm worried about now.
No, the catch-22 that I'm saying to you is even with the restructures. We just came up with a calculation of about 25 million left. Armstead going to be about 21, 22.
Okay.
So you get Armstead.
So you're telling me there's no way
guy?
There's no way Matt Collins is resigning then.
But forget Matt Collins. We're just sitting here talking about another lineman on top of Armstead to help. It's not looking likely. Now he can bring Armstead in and do the same thing instead of 22 million backloaded and make it a $15 million cap hit this year and 30 next year, whatever. I mean, we could do that too and have more room. But guess what? We would basically be saying the team we build this year, we're not looking to do any upgrades next year because us backloading these deals, all the cap space we're supposed to have next year is already being brittled down.
So let me ask you, spending $3 million on Duke Riley today, do you like spending $3 million on Duke Riley? Or would you
I don't
rather
like
take
spending $3 million on third string and fourth string guys because you ain't even got an O lineman in the building yet.
So are you like, and by the way, a lot of the fan base feels this way right now. They feel like I'm going to use the word that I've heard on Twitter, panicking because the Dolphins haven't signed an O-line yet. Are you panicking yet?
No, I'm not panicking. I know we're going to get one of them because we're going to outbid anybody. If we don't get one of them, it is a immense failure, ladies and gentlemen, that wants Tua Tagovailoa to succeed. There ain't going to be no more excuses. At the end of the day, the Dolphins, they can't get it done with him. They can't figure out how to build a team well enough to support him and still keep the defense intact, still be able to have a weapon for him. I think the Dolphins are in a place right now where, as this free agency goes, they're starting to realize it's always going to take moving heaven and the earth to put the necessary pieces around Tua. And they're still going to do it, and they're still going to attempt to do it, but they understand that I think they understand that this is not the ideal formula, because we all went from the Dolphins need to get a premier top flight receiver to getting Wilson Jr. No matter how much you want to believe in the upside and like him, a guy who ain't accomplished nothing in this league, and we want to just rave about the potential of upside.
Let me interrupt you here for a second. Isn't that one of the reasons we wanted Mike McDaniel? That the fans were raving because he's a talent evaluator and he's able to see talent where other people can't.
But Steven, guess what? That's another assumption. And now if we're gonna sit here and tell the truth, that's a whole nother assumption in itself. Okay. People gave this man labels that there is nothing that proves it. Why? Because Debo is a freak of nature. We want to say Mike McDaniel. He has to prove himself too. We automatically give people
this.
Huh?
I'm not arguing you with this.
I know. We automatically give people labels. Now I understand being optimistic and believing that he is, but he got to prove it too. I mean, he's innovative with an offense. What in the heck did they do in San Francisco that was innovative? All they did is ran bubble screens, jet sweeps, and get the ball out quick and stretch the defense around the edge. They just did it more than anybody because they had a guy named Deebo Samuels who was a beast in it. That wasn't innovative. Teams have been doing that all throughout the NFL. It's just that they decided we're going to do it more. It's just like the freaking Wildcat. The year that we took off with it back in the early 2000s. It ain't that it was new. It was that we did it more than anybody else, and it showed some success, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's not sit here and claim it to be innovative and he's, a guru of offense creating this and that when the man couldn't even call plays. The man only worked with receivers and running backs.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. I am Stephen D. He is TD Finch Talk. We're sitting here talking about day one of the legal tampering period. We're talking about the signings that we had yesterday. We're talking about cap room. What can the Dolphins do? We'll go back and forth. Right now, I want to talk to you about Wilson Jr. and Chase Edmonds. What is your thoughts about those two signings from yesterday?
Which one, Chase Edmonds and who?
Cedric Wilson, right? Cedric Wilson.
So I'll start with Chase. I actually love the Chase Edmonds move. It solidifies the committee approach, but this guy can catch the ball out of the backfield. That's the real highlight for him. It's not his running game. When you look at his highlight clips in the running game, this guy gets some gashing holes in an open space he can make you miss. But we've never had an issue with that. We've always had guys that could do that. We need a guy who could run through through the tackles with vision and pick the right hole. Every piece of footage that I've seen with him running through the hole, it's 1 or 2 yards, and unless it's just a gaping hole and then he takes off and gets huge yardage, Everybody's raving about Everybody's raving about the 5.1 yards per carry. There's one carry he has for 70-something yards with a wide open hole up the middle. You take that one away, it goes down to 4.5. I mean, these are the things that I evaluate to see if it's a
The
true
Dolphins
number.
still only had 3.5 last year.
But regardless, Balaj averaged 5.2 yards a carry behind King and Drake. And I raved about him needing more carries the next year.
He also averaged 1.1 the following year or the year after that.
That's the point I'm making, Steven. You see what I'm saying? In a role just like Cedric, that's the role that Balaj was behind Drake. And he averaged 5.2 yards a carry. The very next season, he averaged 1. So I don't get all caught up in what you did. I look at the film and say, did you do it the hard way or was it really easy? The man came in on third downs and passing situations, and they ran in a lot of those situations with wide open holes and things like that. Now, again, a back is a back. He's still a good back regardless of the holes. But I'm more intrigued with his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. That's the highlight for me with him.
So I love the Chase Edmonds signing, and it seemed yesterday that Arizona Cardinal fans were actually not happy that he was going.
Yeah.
Which always tells me a lot when a fan base is, oh man, and I'm not saying fans are the best talent evaluators, but fans I don't think are as stupid as we make them out to be either.
This was a good signing, bro.
I think it's a great signing. And the rumor is he was at the top of McDaniel's list.
He's a talented guy. Again, the only concern I have is not his running in his passing. The only concern is we ain't got a running back room that could block to save our life.
Mm-hmm. That's true. You'll get no argument from me there, but
that's the essence of this offense.
Do we bring back Duke Johnson? Is that somebody who we bring back?
Well, if they sign him, I mean, I don't know.
I get you. Here's the reality. The Dolphins roster isn't finished yet, and you're saying we're up against the cap. Like it's a reality of where we're at, especially if we're going to go out and get a top tier O-line.
Yeah, we're sitting here, and every time I look up, we're spending another $3 million and ain't got a lineman. So that's where the concern should come for Dolphin fans. Mm-hmm. I think we'll get one, but the more little $2-3 million signings we get, the less likely we are to get that second O-lineman.
Look, all right. So let's go to Cedric Wilson. Cedric Wilson from the Dallas Cowboys, who, by the way, had a really good play last year where he threw the ball downfield. I think he's going to be a fun player to watch. Every year he's been in the league, his numbers have consistently gone up.
Stop, Steven.
I like him.
You can't say the man's numbers went up when his rookie year he played one game. Obviously, it's going to be a low number. Next year he played 4 games, and the year after that he finally played tons. So
what does that tell you? That the coaching staff in Dallas.
No, they had injuries.
I like what he's showing me.
They had injuries. Let me tell you. Okay, everybody, I know it sounds negative, right? But the reason why I don't get ecstatic for the first move with the running back and the wide receiver move, if you're a Dolphin fan, you've seen this before. We are the prime example of 3rd and 4th and 5th string receivers. When they get in the game, they always make a mark. They put up 400, 500, 600 yards in a season as a backup. And when you finally thrust them into a primary role, we know what we get. You want to know all the examples? We've had the guys like Jakeem Grant. When he got on the field, he made plays. I can give you a better highlight reel with Jakeem Grant than what I see with this guy. Not saying Grant is better than this guy. I like this guy way better than Grant. But we are used to this. With Albert Wilsons of the world, all of this and that. And I think he's better than Albert Wilson. I think we got a really good wide receiver 3/4. And that is good. But you don't know what a guy is going to be when you thrust him into the number 1 the number 1 or number 2 spot or number 3 almost. You don't know what he's going to be. I don't care about some highlights versus the freaking Eagles. You know, so I got to see these guys on the field. When I watch his film, he's not beating man coverage all day. He's almost every highlight that I see of him, it's in a zone and he's running through, and he has hands though. You got to give him his hands because he ain't dropping stuff unless it's a bad throw. So that's really good. He got good hands. I think that he's not the ultimate deep threat, so that would help Tua. This system fits him. So he's not going to be a game beater, but he does fit in this system, and I think he's the type of receiver that Tua needs. So it's a win, but I think people around here are making it seem like he's supposed to be Christian Kirk. I'll even put it there.
Wow.
He's not going to be the Jarvis Landry. He's not going to be the Odell. He's not going to be it ain't even going to get close to the Waddles of the world, the Chases. He's a good, solid receiver that you bring in. I actually like the move, but people need to stop selling it like he has the potential to be Calvin Johnson.
I think there's a lot of upside to him, and I'm being optimistic and I'm being positive in saying that, hey, look, this guy can be the guy that we want him to be. Now, with that being said, you bring up great points. The Dolphins are used to bringing in 3rd and 4th string wide receivers. This is something that we have seen from the organization in the past, and hoping that they pan out to be something that they've never shown in their career anyway. So why are we hoping that they're going to be something when they've never proven it to begin with? I get that.
Well, that's so Dolphin. We give people credit for something they never did.
But fans, when I was being critical of McDaniel, saying, "Hey, look, Daniel hasn't done anything, folks. I'm going to be optimistic, but I have to call a spade and say, look, you need to show me what he can do." So I look at all these things and I say, "Hey, look, the Miami Dolphins, they're bringing in these guys that are 3rd string, wide receiver, 3rd string running back. But at the end of the day, they're in a Mike McDaniel offense. And there's a lot of positive and upsides that could come to this."
Let's get something straight. When did Mike McDaniels get an offense?
I mean, look, he's the offensive
There is no
guru.
such thing as.
Why is he here? He's here because of his play calling ability.
What do you mean play calling? He didn't call plays.
He did supposedly he did last year,
he
but
never did.
He instituted. He
actually came out and admitted that he didn't.
He instituted the game plan, and there's something to be said of that.
Okay, bro. He instituted the game plan. Steven, all I'm saying to you is,
explain to me why he got the job then, TD.
Because he said he could fix Tua.
That's the first time I've heard that.
I mean, everybody knows that.
I got that. I heard my position.
Okay, there's other reasons too. There's other reasons too. Okay. Number one reason he said he could fix Tua. Actually, it ain't the number one reason. It's like the number 5 reason. Number 1 reason, they couldn't get Brian Daboll. Number 2 reason, they couldn't get Sean Payton. Number 3, they couldn't get John Harbaugh. Number 4, he promised he could fix Tua.
I'll say this. I think the Dolphins wanted Sean Payton, and I think they wanted John Harbaugh. I think those were their 2 guys.
Yeah, I know. This was our 4th option.
Yep, this was our.
And nobody else interviewed this man for a head coaching job.
I don't know if he was their 4th. I think he was always at the top of their list because they were never confident that they could get Harbaugh or what's his face. Or
hold on. You think they were going to select him over Daboll? Bro, Daboll was the favorite in Miami.
I've heard that, and I get why people think that. But the one thing I will say is I heard McDaniel's name the moment Flores got fired. The moment Flores got fired, McDaniel's name was on the Dolphins list publicly. That wasn't something that was, and so for me, I put some emphasis into that because I'm like, well, he's a guy that they kind of wanted from the beginning, and there's something to be said of that.
All I'm saying is when all the quarterback vacancies, right?
Mm-hmm.
With all the quarterback vacancies, this is the only coach that didn't have multiple teams pursue him.
That is true. Nobody else pursued him.
We were the only team, and we sat there and we let all of our options basically dwindle down, and then they selected this man.
Now, TD, I also want to state for the record, I have been on my morning show stating, guys, we're making the same hire that we made the last 7 head coaches here. A rookie head coach who's been a head coach before, who was, and I put this in quotations, a guru in some way, shape, or form, offense, defense, whatever.
That's what they say.
Yep. And so we're hiring the same guy we've hired in the past, just different flavor.
We need, I think our issue is, I think that this team should have gotten an experienced coach, but it is what it is now. And I'm not talking about an experienced coach that lived off the reputation of great players. I hate that crap. Adam Gase, he lived off the reputation of Peyton Manning. That man ain't had nothing to do with Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was just great. It kills me that coaches live off the reputation of players that are just great. I don't, for the life of me, it bothers me.
I'll say this. I think that I've said that I'm very optimistic that I think the Dolphins are going to make this work, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and certain aspects of it.
Yeah, Steven, every year we're going to make it work. Last year, we were going to make it work.
Yep.
The year before that, we were going to make it work. And the funny part about it is, even after we brought in all our free agents, we're going to make it work. We're always going to make it work. I'm not Mr. Positivity anymore. And with the Dolphins, if you want to be right about a take, just criticize it, and you'll be right.
What are the odds? What is your opinion that the Dolphins can land not 1 but 2 offensive linemen?
50% chance.
Okay, because everybody wants to say Armstead and Collins.
It's a 90% chance that we get 1. It's like a 50% chance we'll get 2, and we'll be broke after that.
And if we get Leo Collins and we get Taron Armstead, I think it was a successful offseason.
Well, I've always said if you get two O-linemen, 1 great, 1 really good, we had a successful all season. Mm-hmm. If you get 1, you underwhelmed, and Tua has no shot. If you don't get any, it is a massive proportion failure like we've never seen before.
We agree on that.
The issue I have is, to be quite honest with you, give me 2 minutes to say this, Steven. There's too much hypocrisy in our community. Before the free agency started, 90%, 95% of the people said Tua needs a true number 1 receiver. Waddle is great, but we need a guy as good as him, or even better or bigger, one of the big guys. He need a true number 1. If they can't get him a true number 1, they fail. We go get a guy that ain't proved nothing, but I like his skill. He's a good receiver. And yay, they got the receiver we all wanted. So in every position, we need a real running back. We go get the guy we get.
Breaking news. I got to interrupt you real quick. Breaking news. The Jacksonville Jaguars are releasing linebackers Miles Jack.
Well, saving more money.
I would love to see Miles Jack in a Dolphins uniform. Love him.
That's another thing. That's another thing. And I'll get to that. But also, bro, we had expectations going into free agency of what was needed. Almost on everybody's list, a top receiver. I'm talking about a top receiver. And then when we get this guy, all of a sudden, yay, we got what we needed. Let me ask you something. I can argue with you, Steven, and make a case that last year's team after free agency is better than what we've done, is a better team than what we have this year. Why do I say that? Even though Will Fuller didn't play a game, Will Fuller is better than this guy. Yeah. And what else have we really done to make the roster that much better other than bring the same guys back?
Agba was a top 10 free agent. Let's call that what it is.
That was his second year. Regardless. We had him on the roster. We knew what he could do. He played better 2 years ago than last year. Don't forget that.
And Gesicki's a playmaker, no matter which way you look at it.
Gesicki played better 2 years ago than this year.
Okay.
We had a better roster last year because it's virtually the same.
Did I just hear you say that
Fuller didn't play?
Will Fuller was better than who?
Than the guy we just brought in.
I disagree with that.
Now you might want to go refer to the comment section, Steven. I ain't even look at it. You ask them. I can't even believe you said that.
Will Fuller didn't even play, so how was he better?
No. I'm talking about when Will Fuller signed with us.
Okay.
His ability.
Will Fuller wants to get on the field and play. You're right.
You're telling me that this guy is better than Will Fuller?
Will Fuller did not play, TD.
I know that, but you're telling me this guy is better than Will Fuller?
Will Fuller did not play. So based on that alone, he is better than Will Fuller.
I think you missed the point that I was making. When we finished free agency last year, the team that we had, you could argue was better than this team.
You could argue that. That much I'll give you. But if
I know Will Fuller didn't play, but that ain't no difference from the core we'll have if Parker goes down.
I have a lot of beef with Will Fuller. That man did a modern day robbery to the Miami Dolphins.
I mean,
stole $10 million.
But it looks like his finger was an issue, though.
That man stole $10 million.
He had surgery. He had the receipts to prove it, right?
That man stole $10 million from the Dolphins, as far as I'm concerned. And my conspiracy theory on that is
somebody made a good point in the comment section. So are you saying that since Deshaun Watson didn't play last year, Tua is better than him?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's the point.
But the reason that Deshaun Watson didn't play is because of an off the field issue. Not because of an injury, not because he couldn't play, not because he wasn't good enough to be the starting quarterback of the Houston Texans. An off the field issue. Will Fuller couldn't play allegedly because of a finger, which happens all the time in the NFL. And you're right. He did have surgery on it. I'm not going to put that past him. But the man signed a $10 million contract, and I believe it was with the basis that Deshaun Watson was going to be a Miami Dolphin next year, or that year. And when he wasn't, he did not play. That's what I think.
We'll blame your front office.
I do. I 100% do. You know, I told Janoris Jenkins, cornerback of the Titans, being released, according to Adam Schefter 2 minutes ago. So a lot of releases coming down. Miles Jack, linebacker of the Jaguars, cornerback of the Titans, Janoris Jenkins.
I expect us to make some releases today. That will happen.
I think we are too. My two things I want to see, and by the way, Rams also released punter Johnny Hecker as well.
We need a punter. We need a punter.
I would love to see Hecker in a Dolphins uniform.
We don't have a punter.
We don't have a punter. But two things to what I'm saying. I'm saying go out and get Miles Jack. Go out and get Johnny Hecker. We only have so much money. But you hit the nail on the head. we're probably going to be releasing some people today.
Oh yeah, we definitely.
And I think the other thing to this also is, TD, you also have to look at that. Like, I want Matt Collins. No ands, ifs, or buts about it.
You gonna pay him?
Matt Collins needs to be a Miami Dolphin.
I agree. You gonna pay him?
What do you think he's going to demand on the market? I think it's $7 to $8 million.
It ain't gonna be that much. Well, I don't think. I mean, so you mean to tell me we just brought in another Matt Collins?
And what, Cedric Wilson?
Yeah.
I think Matt Collins is better than Cedric. I think Matt Collins can be a star in this league. But I also thought that about my boy who never saw the field last year. What's his name? Practice squad player. Why am I having a brain fart? I loved him. I was the president of his fan club.
Do you not hear yourself, Steven?
I do. But you just said it five seconds ago. You need to blame the front office.
We got a Matt Collins. That's what we just signed.
Kirk Merrick.
We just signed a Matt Collins and Cedric Wilson Jr. And Matt Collins is better than him, according to you.
I love Matt Collins.
Ugh.
Absolutely love Matt Collins. You don't like Matt Collins?
Matt Collins is an athlete. Matt Collins is
that man can play. That man can play tight end.
Yeah, but
he can play the 2 on the wide receiver. He is good.
Matt Collins cannot be the number 2 wide receiver.
He has.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm not saying he should be. I'm saying he can.
If Matt Collins is your number 2 wide receiver,
we got a lot of problems. A lot of problems have happened.
Well,
I still like him. Like him.
He a Parker injury away from being number 2, because Waddle's number 1, you got Matt Collins over Cedric Wilson, but yet we raving about Cedric Wilson. But I don't agree with you with that, by the way. Cedric Wilson, in my opinion, is a better receiver than Matt Collins. Matt Collins is a good receiver, but he don't come out of breaks he
has his flaws. Look, I'm not going to sit here and what's the word?
He should have been a tight end, bro.
I think he'd be a great tight end, which is all the more reason I was okay with Gesicki not staying. And I know people are going to rip me for that. But I was okay with Gesicki not coming back. We would have been fine without Gesicki.
Well,
we would have made it work.
I think they just did it this year. I mean, you still going to have the same issue next year.
Yeah, but the question is, A, is Matt Collins going to be here? And B, what is Hunter Long going to be?
Well, time will tell. We'll find out, man. But I like the signings from yesterday.
I do too.
I just feel like those are the type of signings that you make because you have to if you had an elite quarterback and you're trying to afford players.
So you like the signings from yesterday, but I also hear in the same breath with Tua, they're not good signings.
They compliment him, but I don't see our offense taking off. off.
So you made the joke on Twitter yesterday, and I don't know if you were trolling. I believe that you were trolling.
I don't do nothing but troll on Twitter.
Okay. That we also signed Miami native Teddy Bridgewater yesterday.
Yeah.
1-year deal. What are your thoughts about Teddy Bridgewater?
I hate that signing.
Do you really?
First of all, neither of them have played at a level of a franchise quarterback. That's number one. And that's what we're supposed to be looking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you bring in a player just as good as Tua. You can argue all you want whether who's better or not, everybody. You crazy if you think Teddy Bridgewater's better. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to identify. When you look at the stats, Teddy Bridgewater has better statistics in every category than Tua, except completion percentage, and that's only by 0.6. I mean, 0.8.
So, am I hearing you correct? In all honesty,
The man even got a higher quarterback rating.
do you think, yes or no, Teddy Bridgewater is better than Tua?
Yes. And you see how I hesitated. I did that intentionally. Barely better, but he is.
And you don't like the signing?
I feel like that's attributed to the fact that the man has experience. His pre-snap and post-snap reads, Tua just can't do, but Teddy can. And Teddy's going to show his difference in pre-snap reads. Teddy can identify in pre-snap. He's barely better. That's why I don't like it, because we could end up where neither of these guys are our future. So I gave the example yesterday. This is why Tua gets the nod anyway. Teddy Bridgewater is like a 6.5 on my scale of 1 to 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's still got an upside of like 6.7 to me. Tua is a 6 on my scale, but he has an upside of 7. So Teddy's better right now, but Tua has a better upside.
I hear you. I disagree, but I get it. I think it's a
so
valid.
how do we quantify that though, Steven? This is what I'm trying to figure out.
So Teddy, how long has Teddy been in the league? Tell me.
What, 9, 10, something like that?
Okay. Teddy has had multiple stops.
Yes.
And hasn't proven to be the quarterback that we all hoped he would be coming out of Louisville.
I agree. So what are we disagreeing about?
I think that Tua is the better quarterback.
So hold on. We just automatically give a quarterback who hasn't played as good as one the better status, even though they ain't proven yet?
Because there's so many factors that go into that, TD.
Let's talk about them. I want to understand this.
I mean, I would say that Denver had a better offensive line than we did last year.
Did you go look at their O-line?
It's not great, but you could argue that it was better than ours.
Did you? Okay. But,
we had the worst offensive line in football last year.
It wasn't far off, Steven.
We still had the worst offense.
Regardless, though, we always do this, man. Teddy's career has been similar.
TD, we can the point of the conversation here is we can nitpick and say, you know what? Tua could have had better stats if he had a better offensive line. If he had, is Jerry Jeudy better than Jalen Waddle?
No.
I don't disagree with that. I think Jalen Waddle's better than Jerry Jeudy, right? Is Noah Fant better than
no? Gesicki. No.
Okay. That's fine. I'll give you those two there.
Give me their next receiver. Ain't better than Parker.
Is the offensive play calling in Denver better than the offensive play calling last year in Miami?
No. See, we going in subjective areas now. We're going to try to make our case on why. Would they had a better run game? That's the only thing I may give you. But everything else, no, man. At the end of the day, Teddy in his entire career, no matter where he went, no matter what the circumstance was, has produced these results.
When it comes down to it, Teddy is not somebody that you can win with. He is a certified good backup. He is somebody that can make
agree.
He is somebody that if, and it's a big if it need be for a 3 or 4 game stretch, can be serviceable and make you competitive.
Bro, I'm not saying Teddy is a starter in the NFL.
He is by far and away better than Jacoby Brissett.
I agree, but I'm not saying the man is a starter in the NFL. What I am telling you is him and Tua, no matter who you want to put ahead of each other, are 1A and 1B.
So timeout. I'm a little frustrated with the comment because you're telling me that Tua, if they're 1A and 1B and they're neck and neck, but you're going to sit here and tell me Tua should start over Teddy. Or vice technically, you just said that Teddy was better than Tua. So you're saying Teddy should start over Tua?
It's not going to happen.
Are you saying that?
No. Because you have to bet on Tua's upside, which is higher than Teddy's.
Okay.
I'm gonna play a 6 Tua before a 6.5 Teddy, because if I believe that Tua's upside is a 7. Yeah, let's see if we can reach that upside. That's better than going with Teddy. He'll never reach that upside if we play Teddy. So we gotta go on the upside. You gotta get him support and go on the upside. My thing is, I just don't believe in neither of them. Now, I could be proven wrong, but that's just my opinion. That don't make it right. Time is going to tell that. We're going to see this year. But what I'm saying is, this notion that is just blasphemy to say Teddy is better. Every statistical category, this man is better.
But you're also, are you not the same person who said you can't just look at stats?
You can't. That's why you got to look at the eye test. And Tua's the wrong person to look at the eye test with.
And so in my opinion, and I also think, I'm sorry, got indigestion here. I also think that if you look at the eye test too, TD, you can clearly, now this is perspective and judgmental, right? It's all how you judge and it's all how you perceive something to be. In my opinion, Tua's far and away better than Teddy is. Tua looks like you're right, the upside is there. I've seen some sparks, some moments over the last 2 years where I've looked at Tua and said, whoa, I don't know if I've ever seen that with Teddy.
I don't know what freaking sparks you looking at, Steven.
I am having to be optimistic because this is what the front office.
Well, thank you. Say that one more time for the people.
I'm having to be optimistic because this is what the front office.
I appreciate your honesty. I don't have a problem with people's takes like that, as long as they recognize and be honest and say they're being optimistic and not trying to make it seem like it is that.
No, look, numbers don't lie. I've been the first one to say that on my channel. But I've also been the person to say, look, there's some people that they just don't have it, right? Fitzpatrick, love the guy, but the man has never won anywhere he's gone. So, okay, what is that? That speaks volumes, right? And the same, and if you look at the same thing from the standpoint of the Dolphins' past quarterbacks, we can clearly see that Ryan Tannehill had decent numbers. But when he was put into games where he was the person that had to make that step, he didn't. We saw what happened last year in the playoffs with Tannehill, right?
Well,
and I know that.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
I was going to say, I know that's a very controversial statement to this fan base. I get that, but I will also see that to it that the original question was, what did you think of Teddy Bridgewater as a backup quarterback?
I mean, he could come in and he can win games if Tua goes down, or is it safer to say when Tua goes down?
That's a fair, because Tua's had 2 years, and technically you take his last year in college, 3 straight years of not playing a full season.
I just don't want – I honestly didn't – I was with everybody else that make excuses for Tua. For the first time I was on their side. And when I say that, here's what I mean. This was the year that I didn't want any distractions for Tua. I wanted him clear mind, clear conscience, just everybody support him, the staff and everybody.
So do you think Teddy is going to be a distraction?
It's not that. You've created – see, Teddy can come in and be a good guy and be the backup. That's fine. But there are things that you might not be able to control that can automatically cause distraction. Let me give you an example, Steven. What in the heck you think is going to happen, right? We play the first 3 games with Tua, just hypothetically, because there is a possibility that with a new system, we can struggle early on. Yep. Just imagine starting 0-3, right? Don't mean we ain't going to pick it up. Huh?
Say, God forbid, please don't let that happen.
Yeah, but say we start 0-3. I don't care if we started 0-2. And Tua didn't look great. He didn't look trash, but he's the same Tua, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets a little left finger nick or rib, whatever, and he's out 3 games. And Teddy Bridgewater comes in and we win them 3 games. Controversy.
That's so Dolphins.
Controversy. I
I
don't want no controversy this year. I wanted you to bring in a backup that was just straight up trash. So
that's bad though. That you
no, I get it, but again, it's because I want to look at it with an unbiased view.
No,
when you got a guy like Teddy.
No, you don't. When you make a statement like that, TD, what you want is a perfect scenario, and
for Tua.
I get that, but that's
because
not.
If he has a perfect scenario,
that's not realistic.
If he has a perfect, I'm just saying that's why I didn't like it. Because if he had a perfect scenario and he succeeded, I'm great with that. I was wrong. I'm happy with that. But I want to give him a perfect scenario to give him that fair chance. Because if he doesn't succeed with that perfect opportunity, I'm slapping people on sight if they disagree going forward. You know what I mean? But man, because I'm sick of it. I have my theories on him, and I'm truly convicted that he's not a franchise quarterback. It doesn't make me right, but we need to get to a point to where we know if he is or not. Not all these excuses, because I'm telling you now, we go get a right tackle, we go get a left tackle, whatever it may be. We'll be complaining about getting pushed around up the middle next year. We'll be complaining about we still ain't got receivers that get no separation. Same guys, only Waddle out there working hard. We still ain't got nobody. I mean, we still gonna build that stuff in. If guys don't play well, which every team deals with here and there, we're still going to have excuses built in. I don't want no excuses. If you're going to call this guy your franchise quarterback, truly build around him and support him the right way so we can get a real answer, not just have a TD take or a Steven take and people arguing about it. I wanted this offseason to give Tua everything and more.
Breaking news coming out from Ian Rappaport. Cowboys are expected to sign their own pass rusher, Randy Gregory, to a deal around $13 million a year. The deal's not done yet, but it is headed that way. I say that because, I mean, just from the standpoint of I'm interested to see the market with other pass rushers compared to what we got Emmanuel Ogbah for. Which I always find interesting. All right, let me say this. So here's there are 2 Stevens here. There's optimistic Steven and there's realistic Steven. Optimistic that I think Tua is going to have a better year with Mike McDaniel. I am optimistic that the players that we bring in are going to fit into this system that McDaniel has. And it's going to work. That's why I think we brought McDaniel in.
Well, Steven,
go ahead.
Well, Steven, I'm not optimistic that Tua's going to have a better season. I'm convicted that he's going to have a better season. I know he's going to have a better season. But again, there's levels to this. Do you know the type of leap that Tua is going to have to take to become the franchise quarterback? Nobody's talking about that. You know how I got my little tier thing where it's average, above average, good, really good, great, elite.
Yes, I remember that.
Tua can improve and go from average to above average. That ain't going to be enough. Tua can improve and go from average to good. I still don't think it's going to be enough. That man got to be at a minimum really good this year.
Well,
he got to be a top.
We both said that his floor has to increase. His floor has to increase.
I don't
his
even think
bottom
seen
number
his floor yet.
You don't his floor yet? That's a good thing.
It could be worse, but it just depends on the system.
No, I'm not talking about worse. I'm talking about his status quo, what he is. And I don't think we've seen that yet.
Well, no, we definitely no. I know it. Well, I think I know it too. It is. It's better than he is now. I know what he has in him. It definitely ain't who he is now. But it still ain't. But it still ain't good enough to be a franchise quarterback.
Okay. This again. Let me go back to my original statement here. There are two Stevens here. There's optimistic Steven and there's realistic Steven. Optimistic Steven is Tua's going to have a better year. We're going to be. I'm going to put you on mute for a second. Tua's going to have a good year. He's going to, play into a brand new system that Mike McDaniel has, that we're going to see our own Debo Samuel in some way, shape, or form. We're going to be able to utilize Mike Gesicki in ways we haven't before because we saw what Kittle did in San Francisco. And we also are going to see a more improved run game. Now, my hope is also that I love the guy that we got to be our offensive line coach from Boston College. Applebaum, I think is his name. So based on that alone, no matter what we do with the offensive line, they will get better because I think the talent progression is going to get better. The teaching, the coaches are better. I think the offensive coaches are better than they were last year. So with that being said, I think even with the having everything the same the way that it was, we still improve on the offensive side of the ball. Now, realistic Steven says this. We know that Tua's not going to be the answer for us to have a winning franchise. We know that this franchise is literally making.
Be careful, Steven.
I know.
Cut that out.
I got you.
You better backtrack and clip it out now.
I can't. I also know that we as a franchise are making the same mistake we have made the last 7 coaches. I also know that everything feels the same. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. And we are doing the same thing. And that scares me as a fan to know that we are going to have another 3 to 5, 7 years of mediocrity. We're still going to be the butt of jokes. We're not it's still Stephen Ross at the head of this franchise, leading this franchise. I don't trust him to save my life. I don't trust him for nothing. I'm supposed to trust him that he made the right decision going with Greer and McDaniel. I want that to be the case. I hope that's going to be the case. I will give credit when credit's due. I think getting Agba and Gesicki for a total of $18 million this coming up year is great, is amazing. I think that when you look at the Dolphins as a whole, though, and you take everything into account, what are we really doing here? We have the same defensive coordinator that we had last year. Right? We're expecting a quarterback that's mediocre at best to improve in a third offensive system in 3 years. This is his 4th offensive coordinator in 3 years.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My bad. At the very end, you were cutting out. What was the last thing?
This is his 5th offensive coordinator in 3 years.
This is his 5th offensive coordinator?
In 3 years.
He got him on fire. Hey, at some point, you got to stop pointing at the coordinators and look at the common denominator.
Tua. I got you. Tua.
Oh, my gosh, man. Hey, boy, how they going to flip on Mike McDaniel and that OC if he ain't doing well?
And so this is what I will say. If I'm honest with myself and you as fans are honest with yourself and don't look at it from, what it could be, but what the reality of what it probably will be. What are the odds that it will be? Very good. We're going to be stuck with another 8-9, 9-8, maybe 10-6. We're a middle of the road team at best. And we all clearly saw the first round of the NFL playoffs this year. And you know what they were? Garbage.
Steven, what I've done recently more so, I've realized, when me doing the all sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've realized how my view of this game in the Dolphins, how wrong and bad most fans are, because we so focus on building our team and not even caring about what other teams do. It's that old coaching philosophy. Don't worry about what nobody else do. Just do what you do and do it best.
Mm-hmm.
That is the biggest sack of crap I have. That thought process is the biggest crap of all time. It's almost like, imagine having Tom Brady, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, and Jarvis Landry on the same team, with Derrick Henry, Laramie Tunsil, Morgan Moses, the best guards and centers in the league. Imagine having the best of every position, right? We're that team that want to sit here and not go try to match it with an Aaron Rodgers and get just as good receivers. We want to sit here and do what we're doing now and being like, the unit is solid with Parker, Waddle, and all of these guys. Our O-line, if we could just get, Austin Jackson to improve and Leon Eichenberg to improve, that's what we do. We're stuck into this twilight, and only the teams that are going far are the ones who are gearing up like the ones who are winning. And we out here thinking that this little passive, methodical, patient approach is where it's at right now. We are so behind. We're blinding ourselves from the rest of the league, and they're continuously taking off on us. And it's embarrassing.
It's happened for 15 to 25 years, dude.
It's embarrassing. And at the end of the day, I'm just like, now I got to start criticizing this team and talking about where we're falling short. So I want to say that to say this. Our biggest needs right now, we need a true nose tackle to either back up or start with Raekwon Davis, because he even got hurt and we had that gap in the middle. We need a inside linebacker. We need O-lineman, and our quarterback got to step up. Now, the O-line will help the quarterback, but at the same token, he got to be better in areas he can improve. That's what we need to be focused on. Those four things. Better QB play, which we're going to rely on coaching and O-line to help. We need a better O-line, which we're going to rely on bringing in better personnel and coaching. And we need a inside linebacker, period, and a nose tackle. Those are the four things left that this team needs.
I think I don't disagree with you. And I think the problem with doing YouTube sometimes on a week in, week out basis, on a day in, day out basis that we do, is we get labeled as negative. We get labeled as, well, you're not being fair to the, to the situation, or you're looking at it from, I like to think that you and I are looking at it, and I don't want to speak for you. I'll speak for myself. I'll let you speak for yourself. I think I look at it from the standpoint of what it is. And for the last 20 years, I can tell you that the Dolphins have been mediocre at best. So based on past scenarios, I don't think I shouldn't be crucified for being critical of the team. I shouldn't be crucified to be like, well, I'm just not sold on it. I don't have a reason to be sold on it. I can hope. I can wish all I want. But I'm not. It's going to take a lot for me to be like, you know what? The Dolphins did the right move. And you know what it's going to take? A playoff win. You show me a playoff win, I'll be 100% on board with what they're doing. But until that time, I don't think it's wrong to be critical of this franchise and the moves that they
This franchise deserves nothing but criticism. Because at the end of the day, and here's the thing, this whole quote, this whole notion that, you're being negative, right? Here's where I push back on people with this whole negative narrative. I've had a lot of negative takes, quote unquote negative, because I don't want to give them credit and call them negative. I've had a lot of non-positive takes in the last 2 years. Why did every single one of them end up being the real case?
Yeah.
So was I negative, or was I evaluating the team accurately? Because nobody can tell me what I've been negative about and been wrong. Or at least it ain't proved itself to be false yet.
I think that it's okay to be critical of this team, but we in the society, we in this fan base, I don't even want to put society, this fan base wants a winner so bad that they don't want it to be true. They don't want it to be true.
And let me give you the reverse of it, Steven. How about we go down the list of all of this positivity out here in the last 2 years and tell me which one of them ended up that way?
Well, none of them did.
Why don't we go down the list of all the positive takes that we got all the last 2 years, with me included, and which one came out to be correct? Well, give me something that came out to be correct. And I ain't talking about Waddle's going to be good. Everybody and their mama knew that. Javon Hollins is good. We knew he was a dog coming out. I'm talking about what this team was going to do, how it was going to bring great play, and it was going to make us do this and make the playoffs.
I'll do low hanging fruit. We all thought Noah Igbenogany was a reach at first round.
No. I said positive things.
Okay, positive.
I said name the positive things. I'm talking about on the field, like we're going to have a good run game. We're going to have a good pass game. We're going to be able to open it up. This year, we're going to do this. This year.
I feel like every year we say that our offensive line's going to improve, and it doesn't.
So everything that we say positive in the last 2 years, none of it's end up being correct.
Yeah. 100%.
So this whole notion of you're being negative, next year, all the things I'm being negative about right now, if they end up being the thing that come back and bite us, were they negative, or was it great analysis because I know this freaking team?
I think from an outside perspective, a fan that's not on the Dolphins, that's how you would be looked at. Oh man, TD's very accurate. That is a correct statement, and not only is it correct, he was right in his prediction and his theory. Yeah. But I don't think the fan base can look at it from that point of view. They never have. This fan base is so alienated and jaded, TD. They can't look at it from that perspective.
Well, I was having this conversation with EM last night. We was on the phone for about an hour, and bro, we went through the AFC. First of all, we don't have a top 5 wide receiver unit in the AFC. We don't have a top 5 running back unit in the AFC, quarterback a top 5. And here's the insult of it all. Even if we got the whatever 2 O-linemen any of y'all want, we wouldn't have a top 5 O-line in the AFC. We still wouldn't have a top 5 O-line. Even if you got Armstead and whatever other one you want on the other side, Moses, call it whatever, you still wouldn't have the top 5 O-line in the AFC. We literally named like 9 O-lines that would be better if we got them to.
By the way, Randy Gregory got 5 years, $70 million.
Ooh, nice. So, but this whole notion, and that's my whole point. people think, and then, Mike McDaniel's going to make the difference with his scheme and how he, like these other coaches are just boo-boo trash and they're going to be the downfall for their team.
There's two things I want. I want to be wrong about how I feel what's going to happen with the Dolphins. There's nothing I want more than to be wrong. I want to be wrong that I don't think I don't think that Mike McDaniel's the answer. I want to be wrong that Stephen Ross is top 10 worst owner in sports. I'm not going to give him the title of the worst because he tries. He just tries wrong.
Wow.
He makes the wrong. I do. In all of sports. Look, there's some pretty bad owners out there. There's some pretty bad. At minimum, Stephen Ross, I can say, you know what? He tries. He tries. He doesn't make good decisions, but he tries. And I'll give him that. And
he ain't trying right now, Steven.
Is he though?
No.
I don't even want to give him the benefit of the doubt because he doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it.
So I guess my point is this, Steven. Do you know what our defense ended up ranked last year?
Was it 16th?
18th.
18th, okay.
So let's say they become improved so much that they become number 10, right?
Okay.
So last year, some of the top defenses in the NFL, like 1, 2, 3, and all of that, right? Buffalo, Chiefs, stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Chargers are about to enter that fray now. If you look at what they did, Jesus, oh my gosh. I mean, it's true. I mean, if you look at what they did, oh my gosh, that's they ready. So here's my deal. Our defense ain't even going to be our advantage much longer. When you talk about some of those teams, right?
Yeah.
And I don't care what Mike McDaniel builds. The talent we have on offense, we can't compete with the Chiefs, Buffalo, Chargers. Most of these great teams, Cincinnati now, since they get in the O-line, and they about to get one of them top right tackles, by the way, because they just fixed their O-line. They already had a left tackle. They just got a center, 2 guards, and all of them good. And now they in the bidding war with Miami for a right tackle. I already know they're finna get one of them.
Okay, I agree.
And their defense is already solid. Our offense, I don't care nothing about this methodical run game. We can't even match up from a talented standpoint. And everybody, well, that's where you got to trust Mike McDaniel, his scheme. They totally discount every other coach. These people been coaches longer than them. They got a job for a reason too. And have already had success. Where do we have an advantage, Steven? Where are we showing that we're building an advantage?
Well, I think we have top 5 secondary in the NFL.
And the Chargers don't now?
I mean, they do. I mean, look,
Buffalo had the number 1 secondary.
I think you're asking me the question I was answering.
No, I'm saying when we're talking about the top playoff teams that we eventually want to beat because we want to win it all.
Yes.
Where do we have an advantage?
I'm gonna say if there is one. If there is one.
Uh-huh. And so tell me something we've already proven.
I think it would be our secondary. But otherwise, I would say no. We don't have one.
The same secondary that still gives up 40 points a game with Josh Allen?
You asked.
Regardless.
I was saying if we had one.
What I'm saying is these quarterbacks are starting to render secondaries obsolete.
Well, that's why we need to have that's why I'm glad we re-signed Agba. He puts pressure on quarterbacks.
We don't have an organic pass rush, Steven. The only way we get pressure on quarterbacks is if we lower the line of scrimmage to make you guess who's coming. We don't even have an organic pass rush. The Chargers do now. They ain't got to put 7 on the line of scrimmage just to confuse the O-line.
All right, Bond 954, you're my boy. I love you. Let me ask you a question, and I'm not picking on you. I just see you in the comments, and I just want to ask this to you, Bond 954. Why is TD being negative? What is the difference between being negative and being real? Like, this is the reality of what we're in.
No, they need to ask themselves, with what I'm saying, is it true? The talent we'll have on offense, can we compete with Buffalo and the Chiefs? Is it true or false?
If nothing positive is attached to the Dolphins, why y'all bother rooting for them? Seems backward AF to me. I don't think that's a fair statement, Von 954.
What do you mean?
We can all agree, okay, as a fan base, we collectively agree that Stephen Ross is horrible. I don't think anybody argues with me on that. There's nobody that I've actually ever seen argue with me on that. Okay?
You should ask Vaughn this. Does he like that Devontae Parker is always hurt? He should answer that. He should answer that. Hopefully, Vaughn, you're listening still. Do you like the fact that Devontae Parker is always hurt?
I can agree there are things off, but that's all.
He said, no, I don't. Why are you being negative? I mean, he still plays. Why are you being negative? Why don't you like that he's always hurt? Why are you being negative? That's how y'all sound. People talk the truth. If I sit here and say, man, Devontae Parker always hurt, some of y'all will say I'm being negative. You can't pick and choose what you want to say I'm being negative about if it's an actual fact, if it's true.
And I'll go as far to say, TD, this. I think some of the difference between and I don't just want to throw the YouTubers out there, but I'll just put people who cover the team, YouTubers, writers, podcasters, whoever. I think you get the information that is given to you, right? And then you interpret it how you want to have that information regurgitated or come back up, right? So I look at it as I'm taking it for what it is, which is mediocre at best is what this team is. And I can either choose to then go back and talk about the reality of the mediocrity of this team and how this team is never going to compete for a Super Bowl making the decisions that they've made. Or I could choose to be optimistic about it, which is fine too. I don't have a problem with people that want to be optimistic about it. The upside of what could happen. Could happen. Bond 954 says it's about balance. That's all I'm saying. I don't hear any positives from you, though. Steven's sipping the Kool-Aid too. TD can't mix my brain. I know what I'm saying and what I hear.
No, what it is, Steven, is this, okay? I can do a 2-hour stream, and I'm going to answer somebody's question in the comment section with this. I could do a 2-hour stream. At the beginning of the stream, I could be like, man, Javon Holland had a heck of a year. He's our bright spot. He's our future. He has many Pro Bowls on the way. Mm-hmm. That's the type of guy right there. We got to make sure we support and keep him in an aggressive state. There ain't much more to say about it, but I said it, right? And Jalen Waddle, man, he was the only thing we pretty much had. This man running free all over the field, killing defenders. The man should.
Hey, breaking news. The Dolphins are re-signing Preston Williams to a 1-year deal. Tom Pelissaro 4 minutes ago. I'm just saying.
Y'all talk about I'm negative. Oh, anyway, but I can do a 2-hour stream, Steven, and I can rave about certain players. Man, Robert Hunt on that right side, that is a cornerstone piece. Did you see what Christian Wilkins did this year? It only takes 10 minutes to talk about all the great things, bro. But as soon as I say the first thing that wasn't great, people in the comment section push back and disagree, and all I'm doing is going back and forth responding. That's the only reason you hear more negative, because people don't want to hear none at all, because when you deliver anything that's unfavorable, they contest it. So you have to be able to have that debate. And that debate is going to take longer than everything we already agree on. So everything I just said just now about freaking Javon Holland, Waddle, Robert Hunt, Christian Wilkins, everything I just said about them, you just heard me say. Why do I need to keep repeating stuff that we agree on? So there will never be balance if y'all don't have balance with the things that need to be critical too. All y'all accept are the good things. Y'all push back on everything that's critical. So where's y'all balance? Where's your balance? Everything I say that's critical, you push back on it. So we debate it. It's supposed to dominate the conversation. That's what talk shows are. It's a debate. People don't debate the stuff that they agree with. You turn on your TV right now to any channel. The stuff they agree with come and go fast. The stuff they disagree with, they go back and forth for the longest. There will never be balance. Y'all asking for an unrealistic expectation.
Zoe Vegas 75 says, that's why I'm no longer a Patreon nor a subscriber. It's not that everyone wants positive. We want objective, balanced takes.
And I've been right about all of the things that have been critical. And that's objective. Unfortunately, your team produces that.
Green Rat 100 says, you love to respond to the negative side of the spectrum.
Your team is negative. You've lost for 25 years. Your team, this is what they're giving us. Do y'all not see the correlation? TD's always negative. Your team produces negative results always.
Von 954, will you come on? Will you come on if I drop the link for you?
Your team is producing negative product on the field every year. Put it like this. How is it that your team produces a negative product on the field every year, but there's more positive than negative to talk about? That ain't balance. Do y'all not see how you're blinding yourself? If your team has been this way for 25 years, how in the heck do we find more positive than negative every year? We're wrong.
All right,
if you're finding more positive than negative, you're wrong.
This is for Von 954 only. I'm just dropping this for him because I didn't want to bring.
It is crazy to me, bro. The correlation is simple. If your team is producing a negative product every year, how in the heck is it possible to have more positive than negative? You're going to have what they produce. If we were Chiefs fans, I'd be glorifying everything because it's turning out that way. I mean, these people, I don't even understand their logic. They want to be lied to. Please tell me what I've been negative about that I've been wrong. That is, and if Vaughn come on here, that is the only thing I'm waiting for anybody who come on here. Come list the name of things that I've been negative about and it's been wrong. Don't tell me about nothing that ain't proven right or wrong yet. Tell me what I have been negative about that's been wrong. If you can't do that, you're just arguing to argue.
Well, I'm waiting for Von 954 to come on.
And for the record, anybody who has unsubscribed to me and not a Patreon and all of that stuff, that was intentional. I intentionally push for people who are going to make the conversation toxic because they can't handle criticism. I don't want those people coming making the conversation toxic. I want to talk to people who can see actual facts, not people who want to argue facts. So I push extra hard to piss you off, to get you off the channel.
I do not do that. I
do that. Every 6 months, Steven, I intentionally try to have a purge of about 300 people at least. If I ain't hit 300, I ain't do something right.
Right.
I did it last month. I only lost 150. I was trying my best to push.
I'm going to bring on Von 954. Go ahead, Von. The floor is yours.
First of all, good morning, fellas. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
What's going on? All right. When I'm saying that I'm not saying there's not negative stuff because I talk about it all the time. Like, people will call me a two in there. No matter how much I say out front, that two has a lot to improve on. But my thing is I haven't written him off. When I hear you and a lot of people that follow you, they've written him off. They know what he is. That's fine. That's everyone has their opinion. But when it gets to Flores is fired, Ross is paying $100,000. All I'm here, I literally hear people find that and bring that back to the quarterback. We have a new coach come in. People say it doesn't matter because Tua's still here. Like, that's what I mean. The one main thing that it gets back to. Yeah, I'm glad you're bringing up other issues now, which is fine. But I'm like, you can't say there's nothing good going on right now. You're not excited about anything happening until
first off, you said other people. Let's just make sure that this is what I do, because that's what we want to get down to the bottom of, not other people, right?
I mean, I'm saying you and people that.
Well, the first comment was false. I didn't associate Tua with the Ross $100,000 thing.
Okay.
I never associated Tua to that. That was their pursuit for trying to go get Joe Burrow. And that was before Tua was even drafted. So how could I associate? I didn't associate Tua to that. So that
how do you like the McDaniel hiring?
I'm skeptical of it because this is a guy that has never proven anything. I was wrong. Like, let me give you an example. It's just like the Tannehill situation. I was blinded about the Tannehill situation, and I was wrong, right?
Right.
The same way I was about Brian Flores. When Brian Flores first came in, I was blinded because he had his flaws. I don't think he should have been fired, in my opinion, but he did have his flaws and things that he didn't do well. What happened?
You know, he had his flaws on the field as well. We're not going to act like he couldn't put together a staff in 3 years.
Yeah, but I acknowledge that. But when Brian Flores was gone, before we even selected a coach, I said I learned my lesson from Brian Flores just like I learned with Ryan Tannehill. It's time for me to not give a coach just anything and really evaluate them and be critical off of what they actually accomplished versus what they're coming from. So Mike McDaniel's coming in. I've said it on every stream. I actually like Mike McDaniels. I like the hire. I sure wouldn't have wanted the one from Dallas or whatever. I like the hire because it gives a fresh new energy. If we weren't going to get the Harbaugh or Caldwell, then I was fine with the move. But at the same token, I'm not going to geek about it when he hasn't proven anything, because when I dive into his history, I have my baseline. I want to see a coach take a player who struggled for 2 years. Like, I like coaches that, he inherited the number 32 defense and he brought him to 16. Then the next year he brought him to 8. I look at resumes like that. Just like our tight end coach, go look at his resume. He did it. Patrick Surtain, he actually made movement. It wasn't just the talent. He made improvements over there. I look at their resume that way. When I look at Mike McDaniel, I don't see units getting better. I just see them always have been where they were. And then you get a freak of nature guy like Debo. You know, it's hard to really gauge how well you are. Now he's in a position where he'll be able to prove how good of a coach he is versus living off of a system and a reputation that belongs to someone else. So I don't have anything against the hire, but I am skeptical to where I need to see it first. So that's not me being negative. That's just me proceeding with caution, saying, like you heard me say on this stream, I didn't give him a ringing endorsement. I just said a whole bunch of, that's what they tell us.
I do have something against the hire. I will say that. Because me, I'm being fed the same thing I've been fed the last 8 coaching hires.
But people compare him to Gates. I'm telling you, if you think he's
I've never compared him to Gates.
Not you. I'm talking to Steven on that.
But that's what we're trying to talk about. Why I'm so negative. I'm trying to get somebody to tell me the actual thing that I've been negative about and been wrong.
But you're saying it completely different now than when I tuned in on your show.
No, like, bro, this is what I say.
This sounds real black and white right now.
No, you know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. I say it that way. And I elaborate it that way. But you see how long and drawn out it was to elaborate it that way? And then after I say it and elaborate it that way, I say the general thing over and over. because I expect people to already know my detailed analysis of it. So when you hear the general statement of, well, I ain't giving him nothing, I got to wait to see. I don't know. He ain't never did this. He ain't never did that yet. That's all you hear, but you probably hopped in the stream late.
And, you know, that's probably what it is. Because, you know, that's the best way I can put it. TD, you have a platform, right? You're one of the bigger content creators in the community, right?
So Emmett Dudley are the biggest.
Yes. We know negativity sells, or people, for whatever reason, attract to negativity. I've learned, like you said, turn on the TV, and call me weird. I don't watch TV at all. Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I pick and choose what I, like, put attention to. So, with you having your platform, when you start going down your path, I'm in there, I'm watching the chat. Like, it's the same group of people that are in there just feeding, like, they thrive off of it. So that's why sometimes it seems like you're pandering to me.
The problem is,
hold on.
Is they add on to it and you put it on me. I'll give a statement.
You're right. You're probably right.
And Vaughn, let me also say, you've been in my chat every morning. You know the chat 90% of the time has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. The chat is its own place.
But I'm down there in them trenches with it.
Yeah, but Steven, I know what he's talking about. I'll make a general statement like the one I just made, and they'll be in the comment section. I was going to make another point to that, but go ahead. They'll be in the comment section saying, yeah, see, even TD know this man is trash.
And so now all of a sudden the perspective is TD says X player's trash.
Exactly. All I see in the comment section, this comment section is toxic. This ain't nothing but haters. TD is fueling this. I can't control that. I ask people to listen to me and my content and listen to it from the beginning, because I'll elaborate a point and then I'll make a general statement going forward because it's too long to elaborate it every time. People have told me, giving me feedback, bro, we get your point. Every time you say it, you elaborate it so long and you do it 10 times a stream. It's the same thing over and over. Just make a general statement about it going forward instead of the full elaboration every time. But this is the consequence. I could start a stream and talk about all the good, and then when I get to in the middle of the stream, I start talking about some of the critical, and they miss what I said about the good that debunks their argument to me. I mean, but this is the landscape of social media. This is why I say you either have a listening issue with me, or you are misguided because of the atmosphere, environment, and what you caught. That's why that's why I also love the channel, because I only, like what you're doing right now, Vaughn, you don't know how much I love this, because I get an opportunity to go have a one-on-one back and forth to clarify, elaborate, so we can see what I really am up close and personal. So if there's anything else right now that you feel like you could be like, you also do this, TD, and that ain't right, let it fly. Give me an opportunity to give you my thoughts of it.
Only thing I could say is I think, like, you're a Dolphins fan like all of us. I could tell. So it's passion. So sometimes I guess some creators that I watch, I think they're more objective in their analysis and what they're talking about, whereas you sometimes, I think you just get so pissed off about a certain decision they made, which I get as a fan and whatever. But like a lot of the subscribers that tune into you, I feel like they take it and run with it, and it's just they don't ever let it go. You know what I'm saying?
See, you know what you're proving to me, and it sucks, but I respect it so much, man.
Yeah, because I'm being honest, guys. Go ahead.
I do. It sucks for me because what you're basically showing me right now is that even if I'm being honest and it's factual what I'm saying, since some people will take it further and give a perception, I have to pay for it. In other words, I would have to not be objective just to get people to feel okay about it. I mean, I don't know what to do. I can't control the people in the comment section.
Anthony just sent a $5 donation on PayPal, and he said, at the end of the day, TD is giving a lot of Dolphins YouTubers a voice, and he's galvanizing this Dolphins community. Fins up.
And that's another thing. Do you hear me promote on my channel? Go listen to everybody. I'm not the end all be. You need to hear opposing views because you know how
I have everybody on. I have everybody on my morning show.
Yeah,
everybody is welcome on my morning show. Batman, Chris, Color, Miss Finns.
You gotta
Ugly's been on mine.
I tune in to all of those. I tune in to all of those too.
You gotta hear the opposing views. You gotta hear the opposing views, and regardless of which one you gravitate the most to, you gotta sit back and see which view ended up being correct because they all have an expiration date.
And by the
all
way,
of our views in football have an expiration date.
And I want to state one more thing. There's nothing wrong with being wrong in your take.
Exactly. And I embrace it.
I think that's half of this battle too, right? Like there are some people that are specifically on Twitter that are insiders, right? Or want to be insiders or are insiders. And I would tell people, you look at Jake Glazer, you look at Ian Rappaport, you look at these big name people, they are wrong 40 to 50% of the time. But they also, but they also, like, I don't think there's anything with being wrong on that. And I think that's part of it. Real quick, Roadrunner says it's the same in every other chat YouTube channel. Keep it a buck. It's all on who you like better. Pete's Take says TD was the first open platform to let us talk. Others followed suit. TD, the truth, even if I don't agree with his takes, he always speaks his mind on our Fins. TD's the home of the real Miami Dolphin. Look at you. Look at Pete giving you props. Shout out to Pete with the $10 donation.
But that, I'm not disputing any of that. We know what TD is to the community.
But so Vaughn, my question to you, but first of all, you know I love you, right? You're my
but I don't want to be held accountable for others. It's not my responsibility. That's why I'm just solely asking about me, not the comment section. What do I say that's negative?
And Vaughn, and that's for Vaughn, and also to say there's a difference between being critical and being negative, and the lines always get blurred. They always get blurred.
Right.
But is there anything though else that I just say negative that ain't fairly objective outside of the influence of the comment section and how they turn it into the worst?
It's just certain narratives. Like right now, the most recent thing is we're not signing Watson, and you're not the only one. Now tell me that you're disappointed in that. But my thing is how I look at it is, I don't know that Watson still wanted to come here after everything with Flo happened. This organization's a mess. Maybe he got it. You get what I'm saying? How do we know he's even still currently interested in the dog? You get what I'm saying?
And that's true. He may have said, hey, I don't want to come to y'all. And we could have saved face and say we're out on him because we believe in Tua. But then they'll tell me I'm being negative about that too. They'll tell me, oh, you're just trying to make it seem like Tua still ain't it. And they only gave that endorsement that they watched the film because Watson was out. I didn't just make that narrative up. You just said that. But if I say it, that's what people are going to say. If I said, you know what? Watson probably said, I don't want to come to y'all no more. And Chris Greer saved face said, we've shut the door on it. We've looked at enough film. The coaching staff say they looked at enough film on Tua and feel like he's they can build a winner around him. They literally crucify me, and that is a narrative. That's one that me and EM talk about, but I don't go, and that's the funny thing. I don't go live about that narrative because I know what they're going to do. They're going to say, oh, you're just trying to diminish their belief in Tua. You're just trying to say they said that just because Watson didn't. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How can I get around not looking negative just by telling the truth?
I got to come clean, man. My issue is really with those people, to be honest.
I know it always is, but I
try to make the point though of what I'm saying with that. Because I had to go ahead.
Well, all right. I want you to finish your point. You go first, and then I'll go.
Yeah, my point I was just making. It's the same thing with the Tuaniers and these names that people are. Because I'm supposedly a Tuanier, but I'm in the same boat as TD when he talks about it. I'm like, I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. He hasn't proved it yet, but I see his sparks. Maybe I'm smoking something, But I've seen glimpses. He's just inconsistent as all
He
hell.
can be, but he got to be that first.
Right. And then, but you see what I'm saying? Like the people, when I'll say that, you know, he's not that bad. I was like, I think he has. I want to see it out for just the one more year. This third year is his only year for me personally. People will still say, "Oh, year 2 in there, he's got to get out of here." And I'm like, man, look what TD done started. I'm not gonna lie. Like stuff like that to me is not people aren't being objective. Like
so
yo,
here's
what
I would recommend. When I do my open panels, come in and don't argue with me. Argue with those people takes, because some of them be on my panels too, don't they?
Yeah,
I know. I see them. And at the end of the day, it's their opinion, and I let them have their opinion, but that's your opportunity to go back at it. Because let me tell you something. If you spit facts,
Keaton them jump me over there, nah.
If you spitting facts, no, bro. Don't worry about getting jumped, because let me tell you something. You come on this platform, my platform, if you're spitting facts and they're being overly hateful, I'm going to defend you. I'm going to be right there with you, regardless of my take. A fact rules over anything. I don't like ignorance, bro. I don't like that emotional analysis. And that's what a lot of people who hate on Tua give, and a lot of people who overly obsessed on him gives emotional commentary. I'm just telling you what I believe, and it may not be in his favor. But again, the moment Tua balls out, you're going to see a 360 from TD, and they still going to come at me and be like, no, keep the same energy. If Tua didn't keep the same, if Tua didn't keep the same energy, I don't have to. And that's my response to them. If Tua don't keep the same energy, I don't have to. If he balling now, that means he changed his energy. Now I will.
Hold him accountable.
All right, real quick. Pete says, TD, just a few months ago, you were in camp watching Tua practice live and telling the fans he might be good, and he grew. And he grew and stuff. They forget quick.
Yeah, and remember, in that camp, I gave the disclaimers. Now, it was a lot of zone and stuff like that, but he looked real crisp. He looked real sharp. He commanded the offense. You know, as camp went, certain things started to wane a little.
Corey, are you willing? Corey, are you willing to come on to the platform this morning? Go ahead.
Real quick. Bad. Yeah, all right. 180. I don't know why I always say 360 regardless.
Yeah. He goes, Corey says, you have painted the picture to others, TD. I've been in Reasons, Douglas, and none of them are as negative as your, unless it's some of these toxic people.
Well, let me add, that's an easy response. If you want to compare me to anybody who isn't as negative as me, then tell me all that positivity, which piece of it turned out to be correct in the last 2 years about the team. I'll wait. Why don't you name to me right now? And I ain't talking about individual players. I'm talking about what that positivity of what we would do, how we would make the playoffs, how we would dominate this, how we'd have a good run game, how this year Tua is going to take a massive leap in year 2. All that positivity that you say that you heard on them other channels, tell me what part of it ends up being correct. And this ain't about an individual channel. I'm just telling you, whatever channel you want to go to and say that they've been more positive, I'm not going to dispute that. I would actually agree with you. But tell me what came out to be correct. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Von, Von, do you have anything else to say before I let you go, Von?
I was just going to say one thing about our O-line and Cincinnati's O-line. First off, Burrow, we know is a better quarterback than Tua, but y'all got to stop comparing their O-line. 22nd and 32nd, and our 32nd wasn't just 32nd. It was historically horrible O-line 32nd. So that was
breaking news.
Yes, we got our tackle.
Breaking news. The Dolphins are signing former Cowboys guard Connor Williams to a 2-year deal.
Okay. So now let me ask Vaughn real quick. How should I respond to that?
No, because I've heard you saying that. Like, Burrow had a bad O-line too. It was nothing like this O-line.
No. How should I respond to the breaking news just now?
Oh, I like I did. I was like, okay.
Why you being negative, bro? Nothing's good enough for you.
I've been up here with you too long, TD, man. It's rubbing off, man.
Nothing's good
off,
enough
man.
for you, bro. Why can't you just be excited for once?
But that's what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with that stuff, but sometimes it just seems like it's just nonstop.
No, bro, I understood everything that you said, and even your what you just said about us having a 30-second ring O-line and another team having a 20-second. I just think that O-lines have different pluses and minuses. We got our ranking because of the excessive amount of pressures. I just feel like our scheme also created pressures. And there's data and articles that actually support that's out there now. But then you got other teams who had success, just like Burrow, with more sacks. I would rather pressures than sacks because you can still make a play in a pressure, but if you get sacked, it's over. And Tua did very well versus in sacks, and that's a positive for him, how he handled the pocket. Even though, so some of y'all should clip what I just said and just put it up. And TD can be positive once every 1,000,000 times, right?
They're going to kill you for that now. They're going to kill you.
They're not going to kill me because they hear it on the normal, bro. It's just that when people get turned off by the comment section, they don't stick around long and listen long. They're in and out typically. They don't hear the full message. They don't hear my full message, bro. See,
all right. Let me let Bond 954 go because there's some more stuff I want to talk about with TD. Bond,
thanks, Steven.
do you have anything else?
Man.
No,
I love you, brother. Be good, man.
All love, man.
All right. Real quick, just to give you guys a little insight about. I didn't mean to interrupt, TD. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to get to this. Connor Williams played 57 games for the Dallas Cowboys. Started 51. He's been on the roster since 2018. He's a second-round pick. I think this is a really good signing. I'm excited about it. I know you haven't had a chance to really look up anything, TD. But do you have any thoughts about Connor Williams being the new guard here?
Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, hold on. I'm just putting my earpiece in. Give me 1 second, all right?
Yep.
All right, so Connor Williams coming in as a guard is an upgrade. He has talent. He's a solid player. I think that this is a good move for Tua. Now, and again, this is the move they needed to make, and I like it. But I'm getting confused. That means out of all those young players that we have under contract, somebody's getting shifted out of here. I mean, how many linemen are you going to carry? I mean, you got to go through the roster right now and count them all. Or please don't tell me this is your big signing. Don't tell me this is your big signing if that's the case. Did the money come out yet? Did they tell us the deal?
Ian Rappaport, 2 years, $14 million with 7.5 fully guaranteed. You there? TD? TD, you're on mute, I think. You on mute? Hello? TD? Where'd you go? TD out. TD, come back in. Go out and come back in. Ian Rappaport claiming 2 years, $14 million with 7.5 million fully guaranteed per Drew Rosenhaus. So Drew Rosenhaus, by the way, is, I mean, you there, TD? I hear you. Well, go ahead. Drew Rosenhaus seems to be starting. By the way, TD, you there?
Can you hear me, bro?
Yep, I can hear you fine.
Okay, did we get a dollar amount?
Yes, it is $14 million, 2 years, 7.5 fully guaranteed.
First of all, it's a win for the Dolphins. This is a great piece to add. The reason why I'm like, our money's getting drained, bro. We're coming up on a grim reality, it feels like. Because we got to secure a tackle, bro.
Imando Sagaro says Dolphins are getting Cowboys starting guard Connor Williams on a 2-year deal. And depending on the price tag, this could be the best get of the offseason so far.
Yeah,
for
it's
Miami.
a great deal for the price. I don't know why they just doing 2 years. I mean, this guy's done it for a while. I would at least give him a 3-year deal.
Connor Williams turns 25 in May. He's a starter the past 4 years in Dallas. Looks to be the Dolphins' new solution at left guard, according to David Fornes.
So this is our left guard. See, something has to be giving, because again, you got Solomon Kinley, Liam Eichenberg, Austin Jackson, and a few more.
Connor Williams PFF grade 76.1, 948 snaps played, 15 penalties, 1 sack allowed in 2021.
This is a huge win, but do we have the money for the 2 tackles or one tackle?
So here's my thing. This is my hope, TD. My hope is that this is not the only signing that we're going to do on the offensive line, because the numbers.
It can't be, but they got to make a huge splash, bro.
But so let me ask you: would you Connor Williams? Let's say for the sake of conversation, he's going to cost us $7 million this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says 7.5 guaranteed. That doesn't mean that it's $7 million this year. It could be 3, could be 5, could be whatever. What I want to know to you is, isn't there something to be said of having?
Hello? You froze on me, bro. I don't know if
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yep. I got frozen. My bad. Isn't there something to be said of having 4 or 5 offensive linemen at $7.5 million rather than one offensive lineman at 18 to 20 million?
Yeah, if we went the methodical approach of bringing him in at guard and bringing a center in around that money. The problem is, any quality tackle you ain't getting for $7.5 million. So it's unrealistic. You ain't getting no quality tackle under $12 million.
Williams was a top 10 guard in PFF last year in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's big.
That's
big.
That's a steal to me. I know that he started, but do you see the snap count?
948 snaps.
Okay, yeah. But that leads me to try to figure out, why didn't the Cowboys retain him? That's a steal for anyone. Something ain't adding up.
Off the field drug issues.
God, dog. It had to be something. I mean, but as long as he can shake it. But what happened? When did it happen?
I don't know. I'm just reading comment. Somebody just said, great deal if he can shake his drug issues.
No, I need to know the story. And I need to know how recent it was. I mean, I ain't expecting you to have it now, but
yeah,
I gotta know, because I'm trying to. And what kind of drug is he? Is the league tripping about marijuana or something? Now we talk about cocaine, crack, and heroin,
or opioids.
Yeah, we talk about something like that. Then God, dog. Do we know?
I don't know. I'm looking it up right now. Now, what I am interested in seeing, because for years I used to think that that Drew Rosenhaus did not like the Dolphins. I want to say 4 players that have signed with the Dolphins in the last 2 days, Drew Rosenhaus guys. Drew Rosenhaus seems to be working very well with the Dolphins right now. Very surprised about that.
Is it true that he's the most penalized O-lineman? Is that correct?
No, he only had. It said. It said according to what I saw, he had one offensive penalty last year.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I just need to do some research. 7 million. At that
All right.
age, that's a
PFF.
shocker.
Somebody said PFF grades aren't the end all be all, but for a reference point, Williams graded out better than Brandon Sharif, Alex Kappa, and Laken Tomlinson last season, and he's only 24.
Well, that's the issue I
This is a
have.
fantastic deal for the Dolphins.
That's the issue I have. He graded better than them, but how much money did they get?
Well, Laken Tomlinson and Alex Kappa got good money.
You see what I mean? I got to see what's going on. Rashad said 15 penalties, 1 sack. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So, new Miami Dolphins guard Connor Williams gave up only 1 sack last year on 949 sacks. However, he was the most penalized lineman in the NFL with 11 holding calls alone.
There you have it. If he don't win his battle, he holds.
But I go back. You know what I go back to? Matt Applebaum. Our new offensive line coach.
See, I love this signing, but now I'm so like whatever. And let me tell you why. This offense can't absorb 10 yards. This offense cannot absorb 10 yards, bro.
But I will go as far to say, whoa, not Dolphins. Center J.C. Treader, the president of the NFLPA, is getting released by the Cleveland Browns. So another center is back on the market.
Oh my God, Deshaun Watson might be going to Cleveland. You know he meeting with Cleveland today, right?
Yeah, he's meeting with Cleveland today.
If they clearing up space, man, I'm gonna tell you now, bro. I'm gonna be the most negative person ever if that fool go to Cleveland. I'm serious, bro. The AFC is just sickening, bro.
It's stacked.
The AFC right now is sickening, bro.
Browns release center J.C. Treader clearing $8.2 million in cap space.
Oh my gosh,
they are clearing cap space. I'm just saying.
And you talk about the team that you want to have a bad quarterback because they are literally built from the floor to the top to the bottom. The two teams that's built from the top to the bottom, they got a quarterback issue, is the Browns and the Colts. They got the rosters. They got better rosters than some of these elite teams, bro. They just ain't got a quarterback. You see the Colts has 7 Pro Bowlers. Those are the two teams that I don't want to get a quarterback. And if Watson go to Cleveland, bro, and you seen the coach called the Texans and they said, don't even waste your time. We ain't trading him in our division. Both of them teams know they need a quarterback.
So real quick. A lot has transpired. This is big. Charles Harris, ring a bell for you? Remember that name?
Yeah.
Just signed a 2-year, $14 million deal with the Detroit Lions.
Oh, it's the Lions. I don't care.
It looks like, by the way, there's rumors saying La'el Collins looks like he's going to be released. That's not confirmed.
I'm sure he will, but again, like I told you, what side of the line does he play on?
The right side, right?
And guess who the only piece they missing on their O-line right now?
The blind side for Tua?
No, I'm talking about guess what team, what really good team right now is only missing a right tackle?
Cleveland.
Nope.
I don't know.
The Bengals locked their O-line down. The only thing they would
have put, if they get him, that's a lot of money on their O-line, which is great. I have no problem with that.
They don't care. They went to the Super Bowl. They got a window now that they could win multiple.
Okay. Connor Williams has a penalty problem, but plays with tremendous heart and grit. Goes all the way to his college days. Under good coaching, he could improve with good discipline.
He could improve with good discipline. Now, you want to know why the Dallas Cowboys, who need bargain deals, which this is a bargain deal, would allow a freaking guard who rates high to go. Do you know how impactful penalties like that are, bro? It literally kills your team. You could be a good player, but if you lead the league in penalties, bro, people look at you like you ain't worth nothing because, okay, let's put it like this.
So, real quick, somebody just said Connor Williams, TD. Where did you go, TD? Somebody just said Connor Williams was the most penalized guard in football, but his offensive line coach was Joe Philbin. So I'm sure the coaching error our superior Dolphins can fix. That look, that says a lot. That says a lot. TD, did you just hear me?
No, my bad. I hit the wrong
His
button.
offensive line coach in Dallas was Joe Philbin.
Listen, man.
I'm just saying those offensive woes can be fixed.
No, that ain't right. Let me tell you why. The one thing Philbin is good at is coaching the O-line.
He is. He's good at it.
So we know what he is as a head coach. But you were great at something to become a head coach. And the one thing Philbin can do is coach a freaking O-line.
Oh, wow. Wow. Woo!
Please be Dolphins.
No, not Dolphins.
God, dog.
The Atlanta Falcons has emerged as a sleeper team to acquire Deshaun Watson.
I knew that already because the salaries match.
Yep. Mort Report and Adam Schefter think Atlanta's going to make a big run at Deshaun.
That would be good. He in the NFC, and they got their future quarterback, and Atlanta would give all their draft picks up, and they'll get off of Matt Ryan's ridiculous deal, and the Texans will absorb it for 1 year, and then they'll cut them next year, and then they'll go to build a team. That's the only way that would happen if it does. Ain't it funny how we getting chastised for wanting him as an organization, but now half the teams have been pursuing him?
Real quick, most penalized player. Yeah, I know, right? Deshaun, you're talking about Deshaun. Yeah, 100%. Most penalized player in the NFL, most penalized players in the NFL, top two last year on the offensive line. Connor Williams, number 1 at 14, and Austin Jackson at 13.
There you have it.
Number 2. So we now have the most penalized offensive line in the NFL.
Wow.
Look, it's easy to see the negative there, but I am actually.
I'm not. I mean, he's still a good player.
I
now
think
this
he's
is
a
where the
great
coach
player.
comes in.
Yep,
the coach got to instill discipline.
Exactly. And I said our biggest upgrade of this season came with Matt Applebaum. I think he is going to be a great coach in the NFL on the O-line. And yeah. I said for the first time in I think years, we actually have a real offensive line. Oh, snap. Tom Pelaricero saying the Steelers are signing offensive line James Daniels to a 3-year, $26 million deal. These offensive lines they're coming off the board, bro.
Yes.
They're coming off the board.
Man,
it's going to happen today.
Until those top tackles
coming off the board today. They're coming
top
off
tackles got to go first, bro.
Well, James Daniels is right underneath them.
And
I love Daniels. I wanted to see him be in a Dolphins uniform so I could get a Daniels jersey. Yeah, like, 3-year deal with the Steelers. 24 years old, can play guard and center. Man.
That would have been and what was the deal again?
It doesn't have the numbers. It just says 3 years deal. It did say, what did you say? 26.5 mil on 3 years.
So 8.5.
Yep.
See, I prefer versatile players like that can play multiple positions.
All right, Barry Jackson stating with the Dolphins re-signing Preston Williams, Dolphins now have top 3 wide receivers completed. Waddle, Parker, Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, because we fill the room now.
So I don't see them getting another offensive or another wide receiver.
Ladies and gentlemen, you now have your wide receiver core. You officially have your wide receiver core.
Joe Shad reporting Connor Williams was the 11th best guard in the NFL, graded by PFF. Miami had one guard ranked, 36, in Robert Hunt. And the next offensive lineman was 76 in Austin Jackson.
So this is why I tell you somebody is going to be gone then. Because if you got Robert Hunt at and now our new guard, which I love the move as long as they can coach him up to be disciplined, this is a huge win. I'm actually loving it more and more that I think about it. I'm a bank on the coaches to get the penalties under wraps. But is this was somebody trolling with that whole drug thing, or is that real?
I don't know. I personally didn't find anything on it, but I didn't do a deep dive into it either.
Oh,
because it looks like there's a lot of movement on Twitter right now, and so every time I hit refresh, there seems to be some new stuff coming out.
It's gonna be interesting to see what they do on the O-line because some of these guys got to go then. Because you got your two guards now. You got your guards.
Let me ask you, who gets released today from the Dolphins, today or tomorrow?
I don't know. I mean, I had the list of everybody who could be released, but I don't know. Jesse Davis, why are we holding on to him?
Your guess is as good as mine.
It doesn't make any sense.
People are crying. As somebody wrote on Twitter, people are crying that they want people crying but want better guards. Shaking my head. Anyone is better than last year's squad.
Yeah, I just feel like regardless of what we had last year at guard, we all know the real issue is at tackle.
So let's say for let me look up
the bigger issue. I would say
if we don't get La'el Collins,
mm-hmm.
La'el Collins, and we don't get what's his name? Who's the other guy?
Terron Armstead.
We don't get Armstead. Do you think that's going to be whatchamacallit? Like
a failure?
Failure.
No, I mean, basically we're going a different approach than anybody thought. For us to get a guard, I think everybody's shocked, but we're happy because it is an upgrade, right? So we may be taking a different approach. And I think now they need to go ahead. I know that Michael Dieter was serviceable, but maybe you can upgrade that center position as well. The truth is, going into free agency, we really needed a center and tackles because we felt like our guards were serviceable enough if they were, sandwiched by quality players. But now it looks like we're kind of reverse engineering that. And we went guard, but I get it.
I'll tell you, I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did. Not as a priority, but remember the priority
my question to you, TD, is that mean that Chris Grier is I don't know if we do sign La'el or Terron Armstead now. I think we may be going after revamping the entire O-line with guys who cost less.
No, I think we still will get one top guy. I'm not gonna move off of that. I'm not moving off of us getting one top guy. I'm not. It has to happen. It has to. And like I said, if you don't, major fail. We were not one guard away.
James Daniels was the fourth best lineman available in free agency. So that Yeah. So I mean, look, I think these big boys are coming off the board today, and we're gonna find out what the Cowboys are gonna do with La'el Collins. I think the reason he hasn't been released is they're hoping to resign. They're either hoping to resign him and he stays there, like renegotiate his deal, or I mean, I don't see the point that he hasn't been traded yet. It makes sense that Dallas would trade him already.
Yeah, and people saying Hunt might be going back to right tackle. Well, don't forget, Hunt only did it that 1 year, y'all. Don't make that the gospel. We know he's a good guard. We know he played well at tackle. But we can't go off for 1 year at tackle and think that that's the end all be. I think they should move him back to right tackle. That's what we felt like they should have did last year. And but still, now who you gonna put at right guard?
Steelers signing James McDaniels to a $26.5 million deal over 3 years. Have now invested $40+ million over 3 years to two interior linemen, Mason Cole and $30 million over 3 years to Chris Okafor in less than 24 hours to offensive tackle. So they put what is that, 70 million for three guys over 3 years.
Well, they already had one of their tackles was really good already. So I understand them surefying that interior. They feel like their defense is in place and they can go right back to the playoffs if Mitchell Trubisky gets all the protection he needs. He's better than Ben Roethlisberger was last year, and they made the playoffs. So I know people laugh at Pittsburgh. Oh, y'all got Mitchell Trubisky. But hold on. He's an upgrade over what Ben was last year, and they made the playoffs. So I don't know why people are laughing at that situation.
Oh, Mitchell Trubisky?
Huh?
Mitchell Trubisky?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I wanted to see him come to Miami to be the backup.
Go get him. No, I say you can go get him. Hello?
Yeah. I'm just reading Twitter. Twitter's going crazy right now. All right, here's something. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here's numbers for you. Ryan Jensen, 3 years, $39 million with the Bucks. Brandon Sharif, 3 years, $49 million with the Commanders. Laken Tomlinson, 3 years, $30 million. James Daniels, what did James just do? James just did 26.5, right? For 3 or 2. Ben Jones with the Titans, 2 years, 14. And then we got Connor Williams at 2 years for 14.
Now let me ask you something. Did you just read? Who did you read? The guards or
yes, guards and centers that have signed. Alex Kappa, the 12th best. They had Connor ranked above them.
Who was the best guard on that list you just read?
Sharif.
And how much was it?
3 years, 49.5.
3 years, 49.5?
Yep.
And what's his PFF rating?
Give me a sec. I don't know. Sharif. PFF.
You can have this cool Paw Patrol puzzle.
He is.
Help! All the pieces are missing.
He is.
What Paw Patrol pups are?
He doesn't say what is his grade? What is his rank? He had 697 snaps with 6 penalties and no snaps allowed, and his PFF grade was 73.6.
And what was our guy's PFF grade?
Connor's was. Connors was 948 snaps with 76.1 overall rating.
So a higher rating?
A higher rating, and Sharif was 3 years, 49.5 million, and Connor Williams was 14 million for 2 years. So we got him at a bargain basement as far as I'm concerned.
So he's rated higher than the other guy, and we got him at
$7 million.
Something. I got to do some research. Something wrong. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something's wrong there. And on top of that,
well, I mean, look, he gave up the most penalties. That's part of it, right?
Yeah, but it got to be more than that, because man,
that's a deal.
The
That's
market.
a deal.
Well, sometimes you got to look at it like this too. What team did Sharif? The other guy play for?
Sharif last year played for the Washington Commanders.
Yeah. So sometimes you got to look at who's around you, because the Cowboys O-line, they all had a top rating. And the better the pieces around you, the better you are too. And I say that to say this. If he played for Miami last year, you think he would have had a 76 rating?
I don't know. I don't want to say that.
Because when you
playing,
that's why I say that. When you have stunts and stuff like that ran on you, you got to be in unison with the guys next to you. The communication and all of that stuff matters. When you got a quarterback who can call their protections versus a guy who can't. So in Dallas, any lineman's going to be in a perfect situation too.
That's true. Connor
So
Williams,
it don't mean you're going to get that level of play here in Miami.
Connor Williams is 6'5", 320 pounds. That's a big boy.
What happened?
6'5", 320 pounds. He's a big
nice.
boy. He's big.
No, that's nice. I like that. Man, I hope that this is just a steal of the off
season. Because the numbers, you're right, does not add up.
Don't even come close.
And I'm sitting here like doing it's crazy. I mean, yeah, like I'm seeing this. It just doesn't make sense.
But
I'm glad, but does that also play
W?
Exactly. Again, I feel like this is Greer. This is Greer making some big look. I'm going to give Greer the benefit of the doubt. Greer is making some pretty amazing moves.
So this is the one that I put in my book, because I get a book of everything that how I like, what I predict, and then I let time pass and see what happens. This is one that I put in my book. I write his name, right? And I say, if he works out, this is the steal of the offseason. Mm-hmm. And then I also put, if he doesn't work out, Dolphin fans, stop complaining. You got what you paid for. No, I'm serious, because you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what, because those are the only two things that's going to happen. Because people can easily next year be like, we brought him in and he ain't play like he did in Dallas. So we'll see. I hope that this is the steal of the off season, though. I'm liking it so far, but we'll see.
And so with that, if they go out and then get a Lael Collins or Taron Armstead, I mean, we upgraded our own line tremendously with just two guys.
Yeah, if you go get them.
And that doesn't include the offensive linemen, who, in my opinion, are probably still going to be really good in the second round of the draft this year. You're going to be able to get a quality O-lineman in the second round this year.
Yeah, but again, I don't put my faith in no draft pick unless it's in the top 10.
Well, Javon Holland was a second-round pick, sir.
And it worked out. I just said I don't put my faith. I don't put my faith in him.
I put my faith in Javon Holland. He was the steal.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Especially after we saw him. Did you put your faith in Noah Benigni?
I did not. Not at all.
All right.
I knew he was a stretch.
It don't mean they ain't gonna work out. I'm just saying I don't put my faith in.
You know how you were just talking about a defensive tackle?
Yeah.
Vikings have officially released defensive tackle Michael Pierce.
I know. Me and Ian was talking about him last night. Bro, if we can get him, man, and he'll be for the cheap, by the way. Because they got dead money, they got to pay him. If we can get him, he is a true nose tackle. We ain't even got no depth at nose tackle. The only real true nose tackle we got is Raekwon Davis.
And if we get Michael Pierce, that.
Oh my gosh, bro! I'm telling you, if we can secure that man, that's the move to make.
But it goes to a fact of A, what's the priority?
It is because we got to stop the run. You know why we have hard time stopping the run? It's because we ain't got an inside linebacker or a true nose. And when Raekwon got hurt, we felt it.
Hey, let me ask you something. When these guys that are cap casualties start getting released, what is the turnaround time on them getting signed to a new team?
Well, it depends on what kind of cap casualty you are. Like the nose tackle that we're talking about, a team gonna snatch him up, try to snatch him up real quick. But when Jesse Davis get released, he gonna sit out there until the teams want to fill their roster, if he even make a team. So that just depends on you as a player. Now, but if you're talking about a true cap casualty, like somebody who has value that will be on a team and probably a low grade starter, or their team just can't afford them, man, once all the big names are gone, bargain shopping start, and they want to hop on the quickest deal they can because it's the most money they can get.
Nikki Smokes, who's been on my show, love him, says, done keeping it real on here. I'ma just tweet all caps and pretend that I believe in Greer after 20 seasons and no playoff wins.
What did he say?
He goes, oh, he deleted the tweet. Why would you delete the tweet? He said, done keeping it real on here. I'm going to just tweet all caps and pretend that I believe in Greer after 20 seasons and no playoff wins. I'm sorry. I want to screenshot this because it's good.
Wow.
I don't mean to call my boy out, but it's funny. I like it. There we go. Screenshot.
Somebody said, TD, stop it. You're just searching for something negative. I actually do. I search for positive and I search for negative, so I leave no stone unturned.
Oh man. Connor Williams signing is the first A+ of free agency for the Miami Dolphins. Versatile guy who can play everywhere, with the main knock on his game being penalties. This deal is unbelievably good too. His best stat, only 13 pressures allowed.
It is because well, again, that unit don't allow pressures. But it is the best signing so far for Miami, of course. Because look at how much we paid. Some people I'm shocked nobody took a 2-year, $20 million chance on him.
We got him for $7 million this year.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what we got him for.
But this is a promise deal. Greer, I guess you do got to give him credit. This is clearly a promise deal. This is a deal where they talked to him and they said, listen, we want to do this. And if you can prove to us you can get your penalties under control, we're going to give you a contract extension next season that will pay you good money when we have we clear up cap.
And you know why they can say that? Because look what they did with Emmanuel Ogbah.
Yeah.
They can go back and say, you don't believe us? Look what we just did with Ogbah.
So this was a chance. This was a chance for him to bet on himself in a team that really need him. Because I feel like he could have got more money. I feel like he definitely could have got more money, even with those penalties. I just hope somebody was trolling about the drug thing.
I am looking right now, and yeah, man, I think this is a really good signing, man. All right, we're coming up. It's a little past noon here, so now we're not a morning show anymore. Now we're in the afternoon. Let's do final thoughts of the day. I've had a really good time with you today, bro. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you for hosting with me this morning.
It's my pleasure, man. I had fun.
Let me ask you two more questions before I let you go, and then we'll do final thoughts of the day. First question is, do you think the Dolphins are going to release anyone today?
I think they'll release people in the next 24 hours. That's a safe one.
Okay. Do you think we make another offensive lineman signing today, and or do you think we sign anybody else today? Do you think we're done today?
We will definitely sign about 2 to 3 more people today, maybe even more, but that's where I'm at with it. And offensive lineman, they will sign another offensive lineman in the next 24 hours. Remember, the official free agency is tomorrow.
That's true.
These deals don't go through until tomorrow, and guys don't have to make a decision until late tonight or tomorrow morning because they don't want to get in a situation where a team is impatient and move on and they start losing money because the people with money ain't got it no more.
You're right about that. All right, tell me what you got on the docket for you coming up, man.
Man, I'm sitting back letting a lot of today pile up. Yesterday wore me out. I think I probably did about 7 hours of streaming yesterday. It wore me out, so I'm sitting back, letting everything come through.
Breaking news.
Miami?
Not Miami. Defensive tackle Malik Collins is signing back with the Texans, and I say that because we're talking about defensive tackles, right?
Yeah.
2 years, 17 mil, 8.5 mil guaranteed. So if you bring in Michael Pierce, he's gonna cost more than 8.5.
Well, not necessarily, man. He may not because he's already getting paid from Minnesota. He's walking out with a check because he still have money guaranteed to him.
That's true. I'll give you that. By the way, another Drew Rosenhaus guy too, by the way. Drew Rosenhaus is putting in work, man. He is putting in work.
Who is Christian Kirk agent?
I
bet you he earned a whole bunch of new clients.
Christian Kirk agent. It is. I'm not sure. Doesn't say.
But yeah, I'm sure he earned a whole bunch of new clients.
I'm not sure who his agent is, but yeah, you're 100% right. I'm sure it is too. Miss Finn says current Dolphins cap $22.6 million.
I mean, we just made a sign, and it has to be different, right? It was 21 this morning.
Does that, Miss Fins, does that say a timestamp on when that was updated?
And also, if you're going off a SPO track, you got to go down to the bottom. They'll show all the new signees, but they don't have their contracts accounted for yet. Some of them are accounted for, but all of them aren't.
Dolphins can free up more cap space by releasing players. Yes, we know it'll be very interesting to see what the Dolphins do over the next 24 to 48 hours. It'll be a lot of fun. So it'll be a lot of fun. All right, man. Final thought of the day, man. Final thoughts for you.
I like what the Dolphins are doing technically. I knew we couldn't do everything that we need to build a team that I feel like is Super Bowl caliber. but we're headed in the right direction of building a good team if people can stay healthy, because we keep building rosters that can't absorb injuries, because they don't have the players on the roster that can carry the team if certain injuries did take place. So, barring any injuries, I really like what we're doing. I feel like we're still building a solid team. As far as the receivers and stuff, I told y'all I like the core we had last year. I didn't feel like it was a problem. It ain't much different this year, obviously. So I'm happy
She
about.
said Spotrac is updated and refreshed just a minute ago, and it's accounted for.
Okay. Outside of that, no, I guess I'll just say that, hey, I'll be live later at some point, giving a big show, outlining today, probably around the trying to figure out what time. What time is it now? 12? Yeah, I might even be live at 1 if I finish the stuff I gotta finish. But y'all just turn your notifications on. Outside of that, thanks for having me, Steven. This was fun this morning. Shout out to Vaughn, giving me an opportunity to have a good conversation with him. Yeah, that was pretty cool as well. So that's it.
I love you, brother. You're the man.
Same, bro.
All right, man. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clap Blackers. I am your host, Stephen D. I hope you had a great time today. If y'all can, before you get out of here and you haven't done so already, please hit that like button. And also donate to the channel, help the channel grow. Can't grow without you. I want to remind you all a couple things that got coming up tomorrow. Tentative at the moment. It's not confirmed yet, but I should have at the beginning of the show my man Xavier Scruggs on from ESPN. And we're going to talk about Major League Baseball. And that has been crazy with the signings and trades that have been going on in the last 24 to 48 hours. Spring training has started. The lockout's over. So the beginning of the show, as long as he confirms, I'm just waiting to hear a confirmation from him. We'll start out there. And then obviously the rest of the show will be Dolphins related. We're going to talk about, hopefully some more signings that we see today, later on today. Today's show was really, really good. I want to give a big shout out again to TD Finstock. Thank you so much for coming on, TD, and Bond 954. It was a lot of fun to hang out with all of you today. And please, again, don't forget to hit the like button. Only 67 likes. And share this. Share this episode today. Talk about what we did on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and say, share the link for today's show. Just because we're over doesn't mean that, I'm sure people will enjoy the content like that again. Von 954 says, Steven, don't leave me like that again. I got you, bro. Miss Finn says that would be awesome. No doubt about that. I don't know if you were talking to me, but you're right. I don't care what you were talking about. It would be awesome. Von 944 says, I'm going to be in TD's comments. I want that smoke. Diehard Dolphins says the Dolphins could create $21.6 million in cap room by releasing Jesse Davis, Eric Rowe, Alan Hearns, Clayton Fedulum, Ethan Carter, Greg Little, Adam Butler. Lot there. So there we go. Oh, interesting. What just happened? Rendergry has changed his mind and is now planning to sign with the Broncos. Very interesting, because we just saw that he was signing with the Cowboys. Very interesting. Top Floor had a good time. Thanks, Steven. I appreciate it, man. Look, it's tough. As soon as I get off, some other news breaks. But hang out today. Follow me on Twitter at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Go follow me on Twitter right now if you can. And again, I will see y'all tomorrow on the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. Had a great time with y'all. Peace out. We will see you tomorrow. Clock Blockers, baby. Let's go. Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. We'll see you tomorrow.